Okie dokie. I think we're on the interwebs. You know how we start this. Roll call.
Kaya.
Ryan.
Nikki.
Isle.
And Steven! Welcome back, everybody, to episode 30 of our Elemental Evils campaign, Boltsmelter, The Odd Jobs. 30 whole frickin' episodes with you guys. Congratulations, everybody.
Yay.
And
And no deaths yet.
no deaths yet.
Boy, what a time to bring that
Maybe
up.
in episode
Yeah.
30, but we made it to
You're
30.
Yeah, it did it. Made it to 30. 30, flirty, and something. Anyways, on our last adventure with our favorite adventuring group of Boltsmelter, it was time for some fighting pit action, baby, because it's Beast Night. The party engaged with a pack of lions in the boar pits of the Bloody Boar, fighting for the entertainments of some of the less reputable parts of Boltsmelter, and with the combined total, I believe, of almost 1,100 gold forked up by the party on the line. The fight went exceptionally well for the party. Jove doing some massive damage to the head lion right out the gates, and passing both the strength checks to not be absolutely mauled by these lions. The party made incredibly short work, taking minimal damage for the most part. However, Darmov, the leader of the Bloody Boar, was not going to let a bunch of people walk away with that much gold. So, up the ante, releasing an actual factual monstrosity, a true beast to beast, a chimera, to take down the party. However, to balance things out, another was released into the arena. The stone dwarf himself, who would later learn is named Boon Ledwakazar, joined the fray. The fight was brutal, the chimera utilizing all three of its heads, its snake tail, wings, and fire breath to its maximum efficiency. The fight was brutal, with all party members except for Jasper going down at the after 3 rounds of combat. 2 fire breaths lighting up the entirety of the boar pits. However, with a nat 20 from Jasper and significant speed, the chimera was slain, and the party arose victorious, but not before Jove had a vision of flying over what seemed to be ancient moon sea, flying with great draconic wings through the skies, his large body casting a shadow over the moon sea, with speed and power that this halfling has never held before. The last moments of this vision, a memory, if you will, of the charging of ion energy in the air, electricity bubbling up in the mouth, crackling with power, besetting a breath of lightning onto what appeared to be an army of giants descending upon the moon sea, before coming back to consciousness. The party reclaimed their winnings for a grand total, I believe, of 2,000 and, oh gosh, like 2,200 pieces of gold. Exuberant sum by any standards for this world. However, Darmov, none too happy at our favorite adventure's success, sent her goons to reclaim said gold. So with a good use of invisibility from Freddy, some coins for orphans from Rornak and our very own Jove, and Jasper having going to collect her glove, the party made an escape. However, not before talking to Boon Ledwakazar, who, in a conversation with Jove in Dwarf, hold on one second, where is that coming from? There we go. Sorry, an ad started to play. There's no ads on this channel. Having conversation with Jove gave him an update on the Falling Stone Mines and the rest of the Ledwakazar stone dwarves. Him, Boone being the brother to the king, Iorn Ledwakazar, having had a falling out over what was worth fighting for, glory or gold. Boone would like to reconciliate with his estranged brother, and tasked Jove with delivering a letter to the Earth Spur Mountains and hopefully reconciliating the brothers and investigating what's been happening in the vines to the east of Mulmaster. The party successfully leaving retired for the evening, gaining a good chunk of experience, before the next day heading back out to their day job with Fergus Boltsmelter. Another round of vaguely invasive questions, and Jasper returning to the Zent ghettos to reclaim her slippers of spider climbing after successfully poisoning and watching the very bloody death of Sir Andrik Sitzorn. Received slippers of spider climbing and was given a heads up that Bilius Karamitru, a noble of Mulmaster, had been rumored to have powers over the mind, once convincing a noble girl to walk through the streets of Mulmaster till her feet were bloody stumps as a proof of devotion to him. Was given the heads up that any interaction with them may prove to be alarming. However, with that information and a brand new pair of shoes, the party rejoined Fergus. It seemed to be a normal day, as far as normal can be concerned, on the docks of Mulmaster, when Jove and Rornak were alerted to a scuffle between Fergus and a shipmate. Peering deep into the eyes of this shipmate, Fergus announced that the sailor had meant to do him harm, and hoisted the sailor over the edge of the ship, dunking them into the bay of Mulmaster. As the party looks on in confusion, the sailor's head pops out from the water with a wicked smile, showing a number of sharp teeth embedded into the jaw, as numerous individuals, 8 in total, are lifted by tentacles from the deeps of the Bay of Mulmaster to place them on top of the ship. Fergus begins to make a mad dash towards his quarters, and Jove, with your passive of 17, you hear him say in Dwarvis, "They're after the Codex!" As he begins to run towards his quarters. Party, would you please roll me initiative?
Only because you asked so nicely.
Thank you. Also, audience, unfortunately, Groovy is still down. I have not found a suitable replacement. So, I'll be playing music and posting it for the party to enjoy at their leisure. I really miss Groovy. It was pretty groovy.
I get it.
Wow.
It's funny because groovy.
Yes, you have figured out my groove joke.
That is very groovy.
Hi, Mac. How's your groove bat? Okay.
Oh, hi, groovy.
Jasper, what is your dexterity?
+3.
Good to know.
No reason. You just
I
became
just forget
curious in the
sometimes, you
moment.
know? I just like
I
to-
forget, and I
Question
need,
pops into Dom's mind.
you know, I got to know the answers.
Asked and answered.
Alright, that's at 20. Oh, Jove. You're exactly the person I need to have initiative 28.
Throw him overboard.
Well, who counts as a small creature here?
Well,
Oh. Rornak, what is your dexterity?
I got the +5 modifier.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah.
Oh.
That's good to know. And then Frederick.
What?
was just saying your name while writing initiative.
While writing initiative down, yes. Give me the moment. A-B-E, A-B-E, D-E, D-K,
D.
Jasp, Jov, Roar, Ferd, Burger.
Burger.
Right? F, R E D F R E D B Georgia Burger. Anyways,
Wow.
you're so welcome for all of that. +1 to myself. Oh, if we're going for it, we're going whole hog. Oh, I might actually need to split these screens. That's a whole lot of map going on. Whole lot of map going on. Ugh. Okie dokie. So, to set the stage, Rornak and Jove, you on the left side top deck of the ship, right next to each other, next to the top set of stairs, looking out to the Bay of Mulmaster. Fergus is currently descending down the stairs into what you assume is his quarters on the lower set of stairs right here. The cultists are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 all along the north side of the ship. You guys can see that there are a number of individuals who are dressed in regular, what appears to be dock worker gear. The only tell being the almost what appears to be coral-like scimitars that hang from their hips, and a pronounced, almost shark-like set of teeth as they drop onto the deck of the ship. There are 3, however, that look different from the rest. 2 of them hold long wooden blades with shark teeth embedded into them. You and Rornak immediately recognize these as similar weapons to your time at Fort Dalton. However, there's a 3rd individual. His body seems to be almost rubber-like. It seems almost as if his very skin is more akin to that of an octopus's than a regular man's. The tentacle that grasps him firmly grasp him, does not let go as compared to the others who are dropped off on top of the ship deck. And it almost looks as if it is bonded to his body. He carries a long trident, obnoxiously large, almost the size of a lance, that he holds in one elongated arm, the arm itself wrapping around it almost like a tentacle. It's as if his bones are no longer solid. And around his neck, it looks as if a bit of canvas from a sailing ship has been wrapped around his skull. Eye holes torn out to allow him to peer out. These large, blue-black, kind of bulbous-looking pits peer out as a bit of rope in a sailor's knot ties it down, obscuring his features, just allowing these eyes to peer out. That is what you see aboard the ship. However, we start below deck, towards these tables right here, with Jasper. Start us off, girl. You hear the thud 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 of many bodies dropping on top of the ship, and you feel the ship rock slightly, as if something large has hit against the hull of the ship.
I believe we also heard the person getting thrown overboard, so it's a
Yes,
whole
indeed.
list of things.
Yes,
Maybe
it's a
worth
whole list of
mentioning.
abrupt chaos.
Yeah, so, yeah, she, like, leaps up from the chair she was sitting in and runs straight up the stairs, assuming I can do that in 40 feet.
Yes, with your 40 feet of movement, you have plenty of movement. You exit out to the ship, and as soon as you enter out, you feel a whoosh, as one individual makes a sword swing with their prepared action.
Fair.
And with a 16 to hit.
She was... I didn't say I was pulling out my shield, so it's up to you if you want to say if I did that or not, because that's going to make the difference.
Roll. I'll let the coin decide. God or Jesus?
Jesus.
You said it, Jesus.
You do not have your shield out.
Damn it. Okay, then it hits.
All right. With that, you feel one of these, like, barnacle coral-encrusted scimitars rake against you. Motherfucker. You take 2 points of slashing damage as it catches you in the upper arm as you bound up these stairs. You see one of these sailor-looking individuals pull the scimitar back from you, and you are face to face.
With that, I think she'll equip her shield, and she'll give a quick glance around to see if she can see Rory or Jove.
Give me a real quick perception check.
Sure.
Because your passive perception will not do.
Then I don't see them.
You do not. You see a long line of what you feel very confidently are members of the Cult of the Crushing Wave lined up against this one. You see the individuals I've described, but their numbers are so numerous. You don't even see Jove or Rory as this combat begins to erupt.
I think she'll call out both their names along with what the hell's going on for good measure. And she'll just make an attack on this guy who attacked her.
Go for it.
We like those. That's a 19 to hit.
A 19 will definitely hit.
Beautiful. I imagine nothing fancy on this one. So it's gonna be, I'm matching your damage for men with 5 slashing.
5 slashing. You got it. That's gonna be for him. 5.
From where I'm standing now, if Freddy were to follow, is he gonna have any view of the deck, or is he gonna be more or less blinded because I'm in the way?
He would definitely have to try to squeeze past you to get by.
If I could shift another 5 feet out so he has space to work with, then I'll do that.
Yeah.
Assuming I don't provoke opportunity attack.
Make me an acrobatics check. To do this correctly and not just move in front of another individual, you're going to need to go over the banister of the stairs leading up.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
That's not bad. Acrobatics, that's a 14.
A 14? Yeah, you use your shield and roll over the side of the banister out of the way. You're now on the stairs. You've got a bit of the high ground on the individual you just attacked. You see that while it wasn't your greatest cut, the armor that they wear is heavily waterlogged. It seems like they've spent so much time in water that some of the leathers and other armor that they have been wearing is starting to get soft due to just how much time they've spent in there. So that cuts clean through part of the armor as you roll across the banister and land up, staring down at your would-be foe.
Dope.
And leaving the portion open for Freddy. However, it is one of the individuals with the shark tooth swords as they begin to make their way onto the deck. They see a number of sailors on the southern side of the ship, or starboard, if we want to use the correct terminology, bounds across the barge, and you see him sink one of these shark tooth wooden blades deep into this sailor's back. It tears into him, the sailor wearing only normal clothing. Without the protection of any armor, it rips and tears through him as he nearly bisects this man up and down. And you can feel this terrible sound of flesh ripping as he pulls back the sword and the sailor drops. A shield in hand, the sword still there, and lets out this awful low, almost inhuman in its sound, like bass going through a deep channel of water. That's going to be his turn. It is then Jove. However, on initiative count 20, there is the sound of breaking wood, and the ship lurches forward. Can I have everybody make a dexterity saving throw?
Shit.
Yes.
10.
11.
Crit fail for
Wow.
5.
Oh, actually, 13. Sorry.
An 18 for Jasper.
Everybody below a DC 12 fails, and you are knocked prone.
Oof.
You feel the ship lurch, the breaking of wood, the sound of water rushing, as the ship lurches to the side as if struck. Those of you unprepared find yourselves sprawled out across the deck of the ship. However, some of you are able to keep your feet, the various feats of acrobatics. Jasper, you're able to hold on to the rail, I believe. So, Jove, it is still your turn. You're currently prone.
He'll use half his movement to pop back up. He is going to throw a javelin at the same enemy that Jasper tagged, and while he does that, he's gonna yell out, Director Fergus, something about a codex. And he will check that javelin.
And
Oof.
with your piercer, what's the range in your javelin, real quick?
I am 3120.
You would have this at disadvantage.
Am I? Okay.
It is in your long range. You're above deck, throwing it across a entire line of people trying to pin it on the other side of the ship from Jasper. You can try to move around, but with only having, I believe, like 15 of your feet and the people blocking your way, you're going to be in disadvantage for this javelin shot if you want to hit the one that Jasper hit.
In that case, is it cool if I do something else?
Yes. You would know as Jove that you would have disadvantage on that shot. You hear Jasper call out with your passive 17 of perception. You can see her roll onto these stairs, like slice a guy up, and is facing him. And you see if you can kind of get the angle, and you can tell that this is going to be a hard shot, not to impale Jasper with it.
Okay, I think what he's gonna try and do then is, I'm not exactly sure on which square he is, but what he wants to do is he wants to get to a point, hold an action with his spear to try and attack any enemy that tries to go downstairs on the southern side. If that is possible, if not,
Yeah.
he'll just hold.
Yeah.
So
where would you like Joe to be? I had imagined you up by the stairs right there in the top right on the north side or the port side of the ship. With Rornak, you being right next to Jove, looking out towards the bay. If you moved your 10 feet there, you'd be looking directly down the stairs towards where Fergus ran into, and you could hold your action there to throw javelin at anybody who tries to make their way that way.
that's exactly what I want to do.
And you do so. Joe prepared with a javelin, right? You see Fergus. You can hear his dwarven legs boom, 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 heading down the stairs. You hear a door open, and the sound of locking as you hear Fergus enter into his quarters. Then,
Yeah, that'll be Jove.
after Jove, because she's got a 20 in dexterity, Rornak.
Yas. Alrighty, so, from where I am, I imagine there's a crowd between me and the one that, or there's bodies between me and the one that, Jasper attacked, so I couldn't cleanly get there, right?
You could. You've got 40 feet of movement as a monk. 5, 10, 15. You could make it in front of the stairs with 40 feet of movement if you jump off of where you're at, down, run across the deck, and get in front of the stairs leading down into the ship. You could be right next to the one Jasper's hit. However, you would be blocking the stairs with your body.
Yeah.
But it can be done.
Yeah, that's probably not quite worth it, but I would use the movement speed to actually get within a bit of a better range, and I'll actually try and use a dart. If I have some better movement to get in position than Jove did, then I could actually throw one of my darts instead.
Absolutely. So 5, 10, 15, 20. What's your range on your darts?
It is, I believe, 20 short, and then 60 long range.
You would need to go over the railing to get this to happen, to be within your short range of it, but with an acrobatics check, you could move into range.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll actually go ahead and take the acrobatics check to
Go
get
for
going.
acrobatics check.
That's a 12.
A 12? You bound over the railing of the deck, almost right over Jove. You land a little cockeyed. You take 1 point falling damage from just kind of a. The ship moves to the side as you land. You can feel you don't quite stick it. You take 1 point falling damage, but you're able to move across the ship. You see on the right side of the ship, towards the aft, that kind of column right there. Where one of the masts is, I should say.
Yes.
You
I
are
see.
directly to the left of that. The individual is right at the start of the stairs leading up. Jasper's on the stairs. He's right there. You are well within your short range.
Beautiful. I will throw my dart at them.
Absolutely.
Almost the nat 20, but that is a 26.
A 26? Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah. That is going to hit for, I believe that is 8 piercing damage.
8
on that.
piercing damage. How do you kill this man with the dart?
Ooh. It's just, in that one motion, it's just like jumping straight off the railing, and as, it's almost like grabbing it out of the pocket and just kind of like sidearm flinking it straight between the eyes. If he can. If not, if it's facing back to me, it's right on the back of the dome, basically. And it's all basically like in one fluid motion. Like as soon as like the knees buckle as he hits the ground, it's straight up and throws it like a literally like a dart. You know, it just laser focused straight ahead.
Yeah, Jove and Jasper, you see Rory make a running start. Without using his hands, he kind of does like the side full flip over the deck, hits it with kind of a hard thud, and you see him rolls into it off of his leg. As soon as he pops up, you see the flash of metal, and kink. And Jasper, you see sticking out straight through like the back side of the head, this dart impales all the way into only maybe an inch of it is left outside the skull. As the sailor hits the side of the deck, and you see his body go limp, and splash.
Beautiful. And Rory will also call out to just to answer to Jasper. He'll say, "They came from the water. We need Freddy up here now."
So,
and that'll be it.
At the end of that turn, the other individual with these kind of shark tooth blades runs forward and runs straight at you, Rornak, and he's going to make a technically it's called a shark tooth longsword attack. Throwing his shield to the side, gripping it with both hands. That is only a 12 to hit.
Will not hit.
You carry your momentum. You hit that individual with a dart, and you see this individual just bold rush like a crushing wave run straight at you. However, you duck low, and the swing goes wide around you, and you can hear it slam into the deck of the ship and splinter some of the wood as it pulls it back out. You can see bits of the shark teeth almost fragment with it, making it even more jagged and abrasive. As he pulls the longsword out with both hands, holds it up high above his head, and that is the end of his turn. As we drop on down, that dude. Bam. Over to Freddy.
So the dude closest to the doorway that would be coming up just got murked, right?
He did indeed get murdered.
Okay.
So you run up the ship, and there's no opportunity of attack or held action because he's murdered.
Yeah. So I use half my movement to get up, and then start to go up the stairs until I can see an enemy.
Yeah, you get with your halved movement speed, you get right out from the stairs, and you can see 10 feet from you that individual with the octopus arm still wrapped around him. You can see 10 foot to the what would be on this map. Looking at it towards the aft of the ship on the starboard side, you can see someone engage with Rornak. So there's kind of a few options. Then you see another two of these kind of regularly shark tooth dressed individuals, or by the stairs towards the north part of the ship, the port side. And then one final one, you do see the individual pulling back their shark tooth longsword out from a sailor. As you see, as all of you guys are now on the deck of the ship, you can see that some of these sailors appear to be grabbing knives or belaying clubs. Some are running off the deck and immediately abandoning ship, leaving behind their belongings as they can feel the ship lurch. Some are knocked over. It's absolute chaos on the ship as sailors are trying to get off. Some are trying to ready weapons. You hear the screams of the one sailor who has been murdered by this cult member. It's absolute chaos on here. The only thing missing is a fire.
Okay. I'm going to go for just like one of the guys that's not wrapped up or currently murdering somebody.
Yeah, you have. You could go after the one next to Rornak, or you could.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Focus, folks. And I'm going to look at him and point and go, "Hey, man, get away from my friend!" And three magic missiles shoot at him. Oh, that's nice. So each does 4, so he takes 12 points of force.
You see that it strikes this individual with huge force. Rornak, you dodge them as he lifts up, like down his ribs on one side, like straight in the armpit, through the ribs, and straight like kidney shots. Boom, boom, boom. As these magic missiles collide, and you can hear the breaking of bones as they impact. Takes 12 damage. Sheesh.
And then I'm going to look at Rory, and I'm going to start playing my instrument and say, there once was a ship with a crew what was being attacked by some dudes, but there's no need to shriek. As you hear a little squeak, there's a little Johnny there to help you. And Johnny springs out.
Plus one!
To
Wow.
Rory to help him out.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. Plus one for good limericks.
Yeah.
That is indeed inspiring. And Rornak, you feel extra inspired.
Love it.
Fucking yeah. That's the type of content I'm fucking here for.
It's my turn.
Alright. After him is the individual with the tentacle wrapped around them. What is he gonna do in this moment? He is going to move over. Let's ask the dice. Dice, who do we go after in this moment? Could I have all four of you guys roll a d6 for me?
A 5.
5.
6.
3.
I also got a 6.
Okay. Freddy, you see this individual move forward towards you using their walking speed or their movement speed. They run forward with this large trident and make an attack against you. After seeing you cast that spell, it is going to be a 14 to hit.
Oh, just barely.
Alright. He pierces you, and you take 9 points of piercing damage. With this extra long, he doesn't even have to get within a 5 feet range. And you see, as soon as it pulls back, the tentacle lifts him up and carries him over, no longer needing to use his movement speed. The tentacle places him right next to you, Jove, and he brings down the trident for his second attack.
Would he proc my held action since
Uh,
he's like entering that space, or?
Yeah, you see him stab Freddy and then get pulled straight back towards you, and you have, if you'd like to use your action, yeah, you already had it ready. You were thinking somebody was going to go down the stairs. You're a little surprised that somebody's coming up above you being carried by a tentacle, but yeah, you can use your action to attack him.
Ooh, I miss with an 11.
With an 11, yeah, it goes dangerously close to this individual. You can see it just grazes the side of that mask. You see a small tear in it as he brings down his trident against you. Oh, that's a natural 19.
That hits.
And that is going to be 6 points of piercing damage. So he brings the trident down, it pierces into you and pulls back. He is now 10 feet from you, Jove, on kind of the top deck of this ship. And that is going to be his movement. Then it is the two other individuals. They begin running towards where Fergus has dropped down into. You can see them running, their feet hitting the deck of the ship. One makes a slash and catches a sailor who has been knocked prone and rips open their neck with a strike from this kind of barnacled scimitar, as the other one leads the way as they begin to head down the stairs. Back to the top with Jasper.
Can I see those two who are just now making their way down the stairs?
You've got a pretty good view of this one. So yes, you can see two individuals. Roll me a perception check, just for funsies here.
Sure. Oh wow, a 14.
A 14? Yeah. At first, your focus is on this individual being moved around by this tentacle, stabbing your brother and then Jove. However, as you're looking towards Jove, seeing him throw this javelin wide, you do notice the two individuals, the barnacle-bladed boys, heading towards the stairs, killing one sailor and the other one heading in.
Yeah, I think all things considered, just knowing the nature of the cults, whatever they want, it can't be good for anybody, so she's gonna give chase, assuming she can get over there without provoking any attack.
Yeah, you can get going around with your 40 feet of movement speed. You go around Freddy, around Warnock, staying wide of the individual he's engaged with, and you're able to get right up behind the barnacle boy that killed that sailor. You can see the other one is heading down the stairs right now, and he's pulling his blade back as you catch him from behind.
Okay. Yeah, she'll make a swing on that boy.
Go for it, making it back.
Ooh, love to see it. Let's see, 24 to hit.
A 24 to hit, yeah, that'll do.
The guy just died, so I'm not getting sneak attack, I assume.
No, you are not getting sneak attack on this one.
Oh my god, another minimum damage for 5 slashing.
You cut through this one just as easily as the last. However, not enough to kill the man, but enough to rip open a long slash through his back as he almost goes to grab it. He turns around and you can see this kind of set of broken, sharpened teeth as he puts on a grimace and holds up his blade to make an attack against you. But it's not his turn yet.
Yeah. That'll be it for me, I think.
Okay. It is then the individual with the shark-toothed longsword. As he sees you, Jasper, make that attack, he comes up behind you after killing that sailor and makes an attack.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dirty. That is only a 13.
Yeah, she'll sidestep down.
It's a 2 and a 9. Okay. That's going to be his turn. Currently, Jasper, you've got a barnacle boy in front of you, a shark tooth boy behind you, and you can see another barnacle boy running down the stairs towards Fergus's quarters.
Yeah.
However, it is now Joe's turn. However, at initiative count 20, there's another large through the ship. However, it doesn't rock. Instead, it feels like something is pulled from the bottom. There's this large wrenching noise, and you feel the ship sink about an inch, as you can feel a gout of water beginning to fill underneath the ship. Everybody, would everybody roll me a d4?
One.
One.
Ew.
4.
4.
4. Okay. You see, from the water, it appears to be a bit of the ship that has been pulled off, has been thrown back on top of the ship. But it lands in kind of the middle, hitting the deck, splintering some of the wood, making one of the gates there, the very middle one, splinters and opens up into the bottom of the deck. However, it does not hit anybody, except as that goes through, the shark tooth boy in front of you, Rornak, needs to make a dexterity saving throw as the floor goes out beneath him. He just barely manages to jump to the side and avoid falling. So he does move out of your range, Rory. You can make an attack of opportunity, as he has to jump to the side to avoid being hit by this debris.
I will do as such.
Go for it.
This would also be with my fist, because I currently do not have the staff on me.
That is A-okay. Your fists are deadly weapons.
Nice. Yep, that's a 24 to hit.
A 24 will hit.
And that'll be for 3 bludgeoning.
3 bludgeoning. Yeah, as he dives to the side, you actually bring a kick around and catch him underneath the chin. It's almost like he dives and your feet catches him underneath the chin and almost puts him back up on his feet as you bring your foot back as he dives out of the way. All right, that's his move. Well, it's because it's Joe's turn now.
Ace. So Jove is going to see the tentacle boy not too far away from him. So he's just going to... Yeah, fuck it. He's going to bonus action to cast Zephyr Strike on himself. He is going to get the Electrum Spear out. He'll close the distance and make an attack with advantage on this gentleman.
Indeed.
Okay, good. And... well, that's why we roll with advantage. So that's 22.
22, yeah, that'll hit.
Nice. We're looking at 10 piercing and 7 force damage.
10 piercing and 7 force damage for 17 altogether.
Ooh.
Dang, groove.
And...
yeah, give me some flavor.
yeah, I imagine that he, like, almost like a sprinter on, like, running blocks. It's like he gets down real low as he gets out that his Electrum Spear, and it's like his feet hardly touch the ground between that maybe 10 feet in between him and the tentacle boy as he just explodes quite quickly and lunges out with that spear, really just going for center of mass. And then since I have extra movement, what do I got here? So I've got a total of 55 movement, so I think that took 10... was he 15 feet away from me, Domsky?
No, he was 10 feet away from you,
Yeah.
so you needed to move
Gotcha.
to 5 feet forward. So you get down in that kind of low crouch, almost like Mike Guy preparing for Midnight Elephant, and just... you can feel the wood beneath you kind of beginning to splinter. You almost, instead of wind, you feel this kind of crackle through your body. Less wind this time. Ever since that vision, you just feel this acceleration in you that need to be in the air for just a moment, and you shoot forward, driving the electrum spear through the center of this one, just narrowly missing his heart. And it actually drives through. You push in with the right hand and catch the electrum spear with the left one and pull it out of his body the other side, landing on the other side. With your increased movement, there's almost a slight crackle of electrical energy running up your body, Deku style.
And then he's gonna use that extra movement to pass him by. He also, from Zephyr Strike, doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. So he's gonna do a little circuit, and he's going to head down the stairs after seeing Jasper go down there. So he's gonna kind of go around. I imagine he's small enough to squeeze in between the mast and the the start of the stairs going downward. So that's kind of the route that he wants to go. So I believe that would be what? So that'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 30.
Yeah, you still have enough movement to... I mean, with that speed and your small size and inability to provoke opportunity attack, you move and you almost, like, shoot beneath the legs of the shark-toothed Jasper, the barnacle boy, the next barnacle boy, and you could get yourself down the stairs, like, in front of Fergus's quarters right there with your spear pointed.
That's exactly what he wants to do, and so he'll be down there ready for what comes next.
Jasper, you step to the side. You have to make kind of this wide stance, and then you just feel a dense weight speed past you. You feel just kind of your hair stand on ends, the taste of like a lightning storm on the tip of your tongue as Jove shoots between your legs and moves past all these with a speed that even surprises you.
Oh yeah, I feel like she was like just about to call out for help, and just sees him blast by, and she's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, because you've had to run away with Jove, and you know that most of the time he's definitely always in the back, and this time you're like, "Ooh, that boy might actually be able to speed past me."
Yeah.
Well, Adam Savage, Chico Ball.
Wow, -1. Oh, Icarus, you've flown too close to the sun. All right, Jove, you are now with your back to Fergus's door, your electrum spear pointed at this individual as they, just as surprised as anybody else, now see this, this beefy halfling blocking the door, electrum spear pointed at them, the last bits of that lightning kind of crackling off you as you hold it up towards him.
Wondrous.
Excellent. Fucking cool. Zephyr Strike. Fucking dope. Cool spell,
Okay.
everybody. Then, after Jove, that would be Rornak.
Alrighty. The guy who just left me that I did the opportunity attack. Is he grouped up right now? Like, would they have easy flanking on me, or like what's?
No, if you move down 5 feet, you would be still right in front of him, and they would have to like slip past the mast, past Freddy, or like go up the stairs and drop down to get behind you. You feel pretty confident that your back is safe, as you kind of have a. Give me a perception check.
Will do. That is a passive 12.
Passive 12, yeah, you see the combatants on the field. You don't see Jove do this super fast move with how quick he moves because your attention is drawn to the hole in the ship. You look down straight into kind of the hole of the ship, the storage space, the cargo hold, and you can see on one side a sizable hole, tentacles just outside of vision, and you can see that it's beginning to fill with water.
Not a good sign. Alrighty. Well then. Well, first things first. Rornak, I will slot down to that spot to make an attack on the individual that retreated from me, like you were explaining.
Indeed.
And of course, I will draw the staff for this one. Oh, my attack. That's another 24. Roll with
That's
that.
another hit.
That is. And he will two-hand that coming down on the staff. It's going to be 10 bludgeoning.
10 bludgeoning. How do you want to do this?
It's it's all just like in a rhythm right now, and it's almost like in the same way that like I'm sure the boat is like bobbing and weaving, Rornak is kind of using that to kind of like propel and kind of dance himself with the motion, and so like coming off of that high kick to the jaw of this individual, he just kind of moves with that motion again, catching himself with the staff, and then uses that momentum to swing it around and jump up and come down on it both hands and just smack straight down on this person's skull, and just clean fracture right there.
There's a single sound of snapping as you watch this individual's like head hits the ground. They almost go like at a 90-degree angle from like the ground to straight, like a straight upside down cross, and they just stop moving. There's not even like a grunt with the force of this strike.
Okay, and then as far as movement, is there any? I know there's people towards the stairs where I am. Can I see with the perception check? Would I have seen anybody looking like over on the other side? Are they starting to head down the steps right now? Like any of the cultists that came up?
You see, looking over straight across from you as you end this cultist's life. Straight across, you can see the back of another one who looks almost exactly like the one you've just defeated, who is raising up their blade for another attack against Jasper. And slightly behind her, you can see another cultist, maybe even two with the 12, heading down the stairs towards Fergus's quarters. Across the deck, you do also see the individual with the tentacle is starting to be raised back up by this tentacle.
Okay. Gotcha. I'll focus on the ones that are close to Fergus quarters because I know that's right by me. So I will use my movement to kind of get behind him and try and cut him off a bit. And that'll be Rornak's turn. Actually, I will also burn 1 key point for patient defense as I do that.
Absolutely. After Rornak, that dude's dead, so it's Freddy.
All right. With a 20-foot radius, I can hit everybody. You know.
Yeah.
You know what it's time for.
Sleep?
Yep. Second level sleep.
Alright. Roll out that sleep.
That's 78. $27.
27. Jove, the one right in front of you, and Jasper, the one right in front of you, immediately go to sleep. You see that their surprised look in their eyes as you come up on each one of them, and then the surprise, their eyes widen and then immediately go heavy and shut as they drop down asleep. The shark-toothed boy and the one with the tentacle wrapped around it are still awake, but those two asleep. Barnacle boy's down. Currently, the Sharktooth Boy is now flanked, since one of his companions is currently asleep.
I'm going to use my bonus action to send a Johnny over to Jasper.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, as Freddy, as you finish up your turn, you see the individual with the large Triton get lifted into the air and is pulled back for the moment, disappearing over the side of the ship. You feel a huge weight, all of you do, as it shifts towards the back of the ship. Jove, since you're closer with the passive of 17, and even you with the passive of 9, hear the sounds of glass breaking and Fergus shouting as this individual disappears from view. That's going to be his turn. The two other cultists are fast asleep right now, so we're back to the top with Jasper.
Okay, so just judging from the sound and the door where Fergus's chambers start, I think Jasper is going to run away from the guy she's dealing with right now. Actually, no, let's not take hits where we don't need to. She'll make a swing at him. No, there's another one that is not asleep.
Yes. There were 4 individuals hit by your sleep spell. The Octopus Knight, the Sharktooth Boy, and the 2 Barnacle Boys. Barnacle Boys passed right on out, but Sharktooth and Octopus Knight still going strong.
Make a swing. Beautiful. Natural 19 for 25.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Did you say he was flanked?
He is indeed flanked.
Beautiful. There's some damage. That's 14 slashing.
Absolutely. You turn around after this individual made their strike, and you bring your axe up from almost like an uppercut, and you can see it just slices through the deck of the ship upwards and continues that cutting motion, going from a deep pelvis cut all the way up into an armpit area as you slash through, cut through these barnacles and this weak kind of oceanic natural armor covering.
She takes no time reveling in that, and actually is going to make a beeline for the railing, the nearest railing, basically on the side where Fergus's chambers got smashed in. She's going to go for that side of the ship on the top deck.
Okay.
And use her spider climbing boots to run along the side of the ship.
No acrobatics needed.
Beautiful. And a cunning action dash to get all the way up in there.
You run after making that strike. You roll over the banister straight onto it, and you feel your feet hit the side of the ship and stick as you move forward and continue running around. As you pass around, you can see the individual grasp in the octopus arm is still above the water, peering into it. You can see one tentacle has snaked inside of Fergus's chambers, and you can see that he's currently grappled by it. In his hand, he is clutching to his chest what appears to be a tome of sorts. It's wrapped in what appears to be beautiful, silver green. Go ahead and give me a Arcana check.
Okay. A 12.
A 12? Yes, with 12, due to your family's influence and familiarity with smithing, you can tell that it is a mithril-bound tome, a dwarven metal, not found naturally around here in Mulmaster, only found in large dwarven settlements. It wraps itself around this tome, and you can see a number of semi-precious stones kind of glitter from it as he's holding on to that, wrapped around his chest like a schoolgirl's journal. Trying to hold on and back away from this tentacle that's grappled. You do have enough movement to get in there with him.
Yeah, and I think. Okay, what's the best way to do this? Fuck. Decisions. I think since he's already grappled, she feels like she doesn't have time to open the door for Jove. So she is going to use her action surge to make an attack on the tentacle.
Go for it. Make an attack.
You're still inspired.
Oh yes, I am. Thank you so much.
Still inspired. Still inspired. Still inspired.
It's a 24 to hit.
A 24 will hit.
But I know I get extra damage if I use that inspo.
You do indeed.
I'm gonna save it just in case something goes badly later.
This is a regular attack because you've already gotten your sneak attack off.
That's true. That's true. What is with these? It's 5 slashing.
Yeah, you cut deep into this tentacle, almost halfway through, but it still holds on to Fergus. You can feel kind of a shock wave through the body. You can see kind of this octopus knight shake a bit in the arms of these tentacles. You feel a great weight press closer to the bottom of the ship. The ship sinks a few more inches down. But you are right there with Fergus.
She's gonna use her free action to say, Fergus, if that thing pulls you in the water with that book, while you're holding on to that book, we're gonna have real issues. You need to drop it if that happens. And that'll be her turn.
Absolutely. We'll move on down to the shark tooth individual. He turns around for you, Rornak, and he's going to make an attack. That is
Disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage. Oh yeah, absolutely. You're prepared for it, and they do lots of like big sweeping, almost up and down strikes, like a wave, like lifting up and then crashing back down. And you see this pattern immediately, and are able to just step to the side, making yourself a smaller target. It's almost like you're dancing around the blade. That's its turn. Jove.
Yes. So I just want to make sure I'm placed. I've got my mind right. So I'm like on that middle deck, right in front of the door, and fighting people, or am I still on that top deck in front of the door?
You were on that middle deck in front of the door.
Gotcha. Perfect. And there's still one sleeping individual, right? Because
there's one sleeping. There are 2 sleeping individuals. The one right in front of you, and then 5 feet behind him is another one. They're both asleep currently.
And did Jasper get one of them, or was that attack one of them?
Jasper made an attack against the shark-toothed individual, cutting him deeply, but did not make any attacks against the sleeping ones. They are still currently asleep.
Gotcha. So things are getting weird. So what he's gonna do is he is going to use a bonus action to call out Aquila just right next to him. And as he does that, he's gonna have a mental connection with her and say, we got to be discreet here. I might have to poof you out here quick. And he's just like, as he's doing that, like he's going to work, he's going to strike one of the sleeping individuals with his spear point.
Roll with advantage.
That's going to be a 25.
25 will do.
I'm going to have Aquila add her d6 for me. Okay, I'm going to use my Piercer feat to re-roll Pierce damage. Nice. So that's 9 piercing, 4 lightning.
How do you do this?
He's like, it's pretty rote at this point. Like he's more focused on Aquila, what that means bringing him out here, knows he needs to get through that door, and he doesn't even really look. I mean, Aquila gives him that little extra juice of lightning to almost more like what she's done to Rornak, where it's been an acceleration of the muscles rather than the goopy spit on the spear tip, and just with precision, just right at the basin of the throat, just and then he's going to kind of bash the. Well, he's first going to check the doorknob.
It is currently locked.
It is currently
yes,
locked.
it is currently locked.
So he's going to do that, and then bang on the door a couple of times and say, "Fergus, buddy, let me in. Come on, I can help you out here." And then Jove and Aquila will be chilling down there, guarding that door.
Absolutely. When you summon Aquila, it's like getting that kind of cowl of that electrical energy, that acceleration once again. And instead of that goop, it's like in that same moment as you like run down, the electricity is starting to fade. You call it back forth and bring out Aquila, revitalizing you with that extra lightning damage. And with a quick poke, like a toothpick into an hors d'oeuvre, that cultist is slain. All right, moving down from Jove is Rornek. Actually, Jove, that's initiative count 20. From that, on initiative count 20, there's a pulling of wood once again, and Rornek, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Of course. That's for a 17.
A 17. Yeah, you see another piece of ship get thrown over, landing behind you on one of those grates, locking another one out. The body of that individual that you caved in the skull of falling down into the hold of the ship. You hear the sound of a splash as you're thinking about a foot of water has filled into the ship at this point. Now, it is Rornak's turn.
All right. Rornak will return to Cinder. I believe it was the Sharktooth individual.
Indeed.
Indeed. I will attack, and we will roll the Johnny inspiration too. That's for an unnatural 20.
An unnatural 20 will hit.
Beautiful. And that was a 5 on the Johnny die, just FYI.
5 on the Johnny die.
And another 10 bludgeoning damage from the staff.
How would you like to do this?
Oh. Man. Try to think of how to incorporate the Johnny with this one. It's just again moving in sync with it, and the tearing comes down and the ship moves again, and it's like moving like a wave with it, and just following and flowing through that as he comes back around and does like almost like a full like half crescent sweep with the staff before slamming it straight into the neck of this individual. With the Johnny, I believe I would even see like perched on the shoulder, like mimicking it as well, and giving him a quick little finger gun at the end.
And it happens exactly as described as you crush this individual in front of you. The shark tooth blade scattering across the deck of the ship, sliding into the open hole into the cargo space of the ship, and dropping down with another large splash. All right, Rornak. Yeah. You still have your movement speed. A sleeping individual, that would be 10 feet from you, and you can see Jove and Aquila are currently at the door to Fergus's chambers.
Gotcha. The sleeping individual, are they on the stairs, or are they like...
They are indeed on the stairs.
They are on the stairs. Okay. Rornak will start to head towards that way, and will stand over the individual with his staff above him, and he'll call out to Jove and just ask, yeah, he'll just ask, what's the status down here? Do we got to get going? And that'll be all.
All right, that's Rornak. After Rornak, that dude's dead. Freddy. Freddy.
Hello, hello. There it is.
There it is.
Can you paint the scene for me just so I can know?
Absolutely. I don't believe you've moved.
I've
So
not.
yes, so you are still over by the port side stairs on the top deck. Looking over, you see Rornak crush one of these individuals. You see that Octopus Knight get pulled off of the ship towards the aft parts of the ship. You can feel the lurching and the water beginning to fill as you look down into the large hole in the center of the ship, and the quickly filling of the hole. You don't see any other enemies on top of the ship, although you do see the flinging of pieces of the ship back on to the boat. Right now you see Rornak heading back down, and you do hear him call out to Jove. You have no idea where your sister went, though.
Yeah. So the octopus dude got pulled over, so I can't see him anymore.
You currently cannot see him.
Is there anyone on deck that I can see that's not asleep?
Not that aren't dead. You can see a number of sailors. Many of them have now abandoned ship. You could see them running down the docks. However, you do notice that there doesn't seem to be any city watch coming to investigate this attack. Well, this ship is disarray, and you can see that sailors and other dock workers are moving away from it. You see that also the city watch have not run forward, and have instead given a wide berth to the ship.
Then yeah, I'm just gonna chase after Roar now.
Yeah, you go.
Just follow wherever he's going.
Yeah, you move across 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, you get to right kind of where the mast is. You're on the starboard side underneath it. You can see that's another 5 feet in front of you is Rornak, and then 10 feet from him is Jove, looking down towards Fergus's quarters.
And then I'll ready my action to attack anything that gets within range.
You got it. It is now the Octopus Knight's turn. As Jasper, you see the individual is moved into the room with this kind of large trident and is going to try to make an attack against you and one against Fergus. Towards you, that is a 16.
Blocks with the shield.
Towards Fergus, that is only a 9. So even with Fergus grappled right now, to avoid stabbing the octopus, he cannot quite get into that range, and so he is then pulled right back out of this by the octopus, and you can see it is beginning to climb atop the ship. Pushing down, you can feel the back end of the ship starting to kind of be pulled down. As it appears this octopus is now climbing on top of the ship. You can see the tentacle that's holding Fergus is about to start moving. That's his turn. That dude's asleep, so we go back to Jasper.
With all that, Jasper's sure she'll need extra hands on this one, so she's gonna abandon Fergus to go see if she can't open this door for her companions.
Yeah, it's easy enough. You're on the right side, so you unlock the door, open it up, and Jove, you as it opens, you feel the door kind of hit you in the front as you're kind of knocking on it, and there's Jasper. Looking into the room, you can see Fergus's bed, a desk, and more importantly, the broken window with a large octopus tentacle reaching in, grasping Fergus, who's holding that same mithril-bound tome. More concerned holding on to it than he is getting out of that grapple.
I think with the rest of my turn, I'm going to run up to where the walls/windows were smashed open and try to like body block the door essentially, or
You-
the hole.
Yeah, you place yourself there. You're not sure how effective it'll be. Only time will tell. But you do
Right.
place yourself there.
Okay.
All right. After Jasper is, those dudes are dead. So it is Jove's turn. On initiative count 20, though, the octopus arm begins to be pulled back, and you feel Fergus heading straight towards you. Jasper, your body is there. Make me a strength saving throw to see if you can pin this octopus arm in here with the body.
Okay. Jesus, that's fucking as bad as it gets. I don't even know that inspiration's gonna save that one. Yeah, I'm gonna not use it and just call that a 6.
Yeah, a 6. This thing pulls back. You try to use your body to block it, but it's both parts like rubber and muscle. You press into it, but there's no solid bones to it. It just slips right on by, and almost this awful sensation of metal on rubber as it squeaks by you, yanking Fergus out. As the rest of you, I believe, Rornak, you see this. Rornak and Freddy, you both see this as a gigantic octopus. Its tentacles, this awful bluish green, unnaturally twisted. Its eyes, this black and blue bulbous globes. As it gets on top of the ship, you can see it's starting to tilt the ship backwards. Fergus in arm with this kind of dark tide knight poised up with this large spear, glowering at Fergus, who is still holding on to this tome. Jove, it's your
When
move.
that tentacle slipped by, was there any chance for me to get opportunity attack, or was that check more or less my
You
option
wanted to
there?
use your body to stop it, so I'm going to say as your reaction to stop that there would have been the strength saving throw
Okay.
to
I see.
block it there, because you wanted to block it rather than hold an action to strike against it.
Fair enough.
Jove, it is. You see Fergus. Jasper opens the door and tries to like stop the tentacle from going as it slips by with Fergus. Door opens and you make eye contact with Fergus just a moment, and
Yeah. Yeah. So he'll turn tail. And he's gonna go back up the stairs to the top spot, squeezing past Rornak if I need to, letting his actions answer Rornak's question there. And yeah, so once I get to the top, I'm assuming I see the kind of the tilting and see everything.
Yeah, absolutely. You get back onto the top deck. You have enough movement even to get to the uppermost top deck where this octopus is holding on to the back. The octopus knight and Fergus grasp firmly in two of its arms. You are only 10 feet away from this thing with the rest of your movement.
Beautiful. I will use a bonus action to Hunter's Mark the Octopus Knight.
Absolutely.
Because Aquila moves after me, I'm not going to be able to use her extra little bit. So I will go ahead and... You know what? Actually, instead of... instead of Hunter's Mark, we're going to do another Zephyr Strike. Feeling it right.
Zephyr Strike, you got it.
Do Zephyr Strike to get that sweet advantage. So close. Nat 20! Pew, 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 pew. Yes!
All right, let's see it.
Oh, gotta love
On
it.
the Zephyr Strike, too?
On the Zephyr Strike.
Aw.
So we're looking at plus 18, whatever I roll right here. Ooh, so close to total max. So that is 18. That is 31, and 7 of that is gonna be 7 of that is gonna be force damage.
31. All right. Goddamn. Yeah,
A
you
little
launch
pepper on
this.
that.
You continue to channel that kind of electrical energy, feeling faster, stronger, and you summon that power once again, moving with that increased speed. And this time, your feet don't leave. It's just the javelin moves faster. It's a blink. There's almost that quiet moment when there's a slight, poof, like a pop as it breaks the sound barrier and shoots through this octopus deep into the bay of Molemaster. You can feel its whole body. You can see some of its arms lose their grip on the ship. The ship kind of bounces out for a moment, bleeding this awful, dark, purplish black blood from it. You can see the grips on both the Octopus Knight and Fergus waver for a moment. It's not dead, but it has been absolutely maimed by that last attack.
Since he's got extra movement, he is going to peel back a little bit. So he's got an extra, just double checking, 30 feet. So he'll use 30 feet to kind of retreat a bit down onto that. Kind of onto the mid deck area. And then he'll call up Aquila to kind of come up the stairs, but not like he doesn't want her like fully out and about, but just so she can kind of see what's going on. So I think technically, in my mind, she wouldn't be able to see the octopus per se, but she would have a good view of that base deck where he's on right now. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, she moves into position.
Perfect. And then that's Jove and Aquila.
All right, moving down from Jove is Rornak.
Alrighty. Well, taking the cue and slightly startled, Rornak will head upstairs. And I imagine I see here the octopus and the octopus knight that just took
Indeed.
a wall.
Yeah, it is trying to recover from such a shut-in impact.
Yeah. How far would I be from the octopus knight from where I am? And like, would I have had to have moved like 5 feet or 10 feet? Would you say to get there?
You have enough movement to make it to the octopus, the tidal knight, or Fergus with your 40 feet of movement speed from where you're at.
Okay. Rornak is still trying to figure out a little bit what's going on mentally on this one, but he'll stick to what he knows he can do well, and so we'll head for the Octopus Knight and we'll try and do a strike on him, see if we can take him out. And that is for a 21.
A 21 will hit.
Yeah. I put another 10 bludgeoning damage.
10 bludgeoning. Jingo. Yeah, you strike this individual straight around their kind of octopus-inspired mask. And you can see a little bit of red beginning to fill on the mask.
Nice. And I will use the bonus action to do an unarmed strike. Try to go, as he chips that mask, he'll try and follow up with like a straight palm right to that area. That's a nat 20.
All right.
Now, it's on an unarmed strike, so we'll see how much that really is. So that's just for an extra 6 damage.
Okay,
6
extra 6. But you follow up, and it's a devastating just... You can feel this individual, their jaw must be dislocated.
Beautiful. That was like less of like a big hype nat 20 and more of like a just kind of insult to injury.
Fuck you,
nat
nat
20.
20.
You know,
It's
exactly.
a fuck you, in the form of 2-0.
Yeah. Beautiful. And that's all for Ornak.
Dang, Jove. Dang, Jove. Shooting yourself in the foot, or stabbing yourself in the foot.
give myself a little sticky note and put it on my dice tower. That's what I need to do.
Nat 20's get an extra d6. All right, then after Rornak is Freddy.
They seem to have this handled. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I mean they don't really need me. Because it's just the Octopus Knight and the one that's asleep, right? Or am I missing?
There is one that is asleep, the Octopus Knight, and now an actual giant octopus who is on top of the ship.
Oh, okay. And they've been hitting the octopus, right?
They have hit the octopus. They have hit the Octopus Knights. The sleeping individual is still fast asleep on the stairs of the ship.
Okay. Yeah. Gonna. Is the Octopus Knight humanoid?
He is indeed humanoid.
Why not try this? It's always fun to try. Have him make a wisdom save. It's Crown of Madness, being charmed.
That's a 13.
13 meets.
You can see that kind of that energy wraps around them. However, another energy, it's almost like the tentacle itself wraps around and kind of squeezes the individual and pulsates and breaks through that spell.
In that case, I'm gonna bonus action to use my last Bardic Inspiration on Jove.
Jove, you receive a bardic inspiration. You receive a Johnny.
Thank you.
All right. After that is the Octopus Knight. He does not like what you just did there, Rornak. So you're receiving an attack for sure. That is a 17. Does a 17 hit, Rornak? If you're saying yes or no, I can't hear you.
Worry.
Rory! Rory! Eh, nanny. The fuck? Tonight's episode is brought to you by Dwarven Forge. There you are. Rornak, does a 17 hit?
17? That just meets, yes.
You take 15 points of piercing damage.
Oof. Ouch.
Absolutely. Then there's a caster on this ship. He's coming back for that caster as the octopus lifts him up. And he's gonna make an attack. Nope, that is an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, just misses.
Yeah, just misses.
Yes.
As he drives this oversized trident into the ship next to you, before being pulled back closer to Fergus. That's his turn. That dude's asleep. We go back up to the top with Jasper.
She, like, as Fergus got pulled past her, she kind of kept an eye on him best she could and is just gonna run along the side of the ship to get to him.
Yeah, absolutely. You run along the sides of the ship, skirting around the giant octopus, and pop up on the port side where Fergus is being held.
Okay. She is going to make another attack on this arm.
Do it.
For fuck's sake, we're gonna use that inspo. It's a d6.
Indeed.
Yes.
It's a 13 hit.
A 13 will hit.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Freddy. Is that a sneak attack because Fergus is there?
It is a sneak attack because Fergus and Rornak are in this space, so I'll give it to you.
It makes a Constitution saving throw.
The octopus rolls a natural 18.
That passes.
Jasper does 14 slashing.
14 slashing. You cleave through the rest of this tentacle as Fergus's body hits the deck. Him cradling this tome against his body. He is no longer grappled.
Yeah, I think that'll be it for now.
Absolutely, 14. Gotcha. Then after Jasper is the octopus now. The octopus is going to make a tentacle attack against you, Jasper. Would you believe?
I do believe.
Absolutely. That is an unnatural 20.
That'll do it.
You are currently grappled. As it wraps around you and squeezes, you can feel the pressure as you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. You are currently grappled, so it means you're restrained. You have a movement speed of 0.
Fair enough.
And that's going to be the octopus's turn. Jove.
Yes. I know the octopus knight sometimes moves after he gets hit. After he came down and tried to hit Freddy, did he move again?
Yes, he moved back up to the top deck. It appears that the octopus knight and the octopus have some sort of bond, and he uses the octopus's tentacles to move him on top of his regular movement speed.
Gotcha.
Giving him quite the range.
Yeah. He's gonna go ahead and kind of go back up to that top deck a little bit, and he is going to he's just gonna throw another jab, but before he does that, he'll do a hunter's mark on the he's gonna go for the octopus. That's what he feels like fighting right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, gonna do it on the octopus and roll it. Let's see here. Ooh, that is. I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration just to. I think that.
Oh man, we're getting full
first
use out of these inspirations. Fucking well done.
Yeah, I rolled max on that inspo, by the way, so that gives me, that gets me 17.
And I need to make a Constitution saving throw, correct?
Indeed, I believe.
Oh yeah, that time's only a 12. That's a failure, correct, Freddy?
12 fails, yeah.
Indeed, the octopus fails that Constitution saving throw.
So he takes damage equal to the bard die.
6.
Nice, 6. That's an additional 6. We will... So Doms, I think that Akila has view of me. If she shot me with that energy, would that give me that D6, or do you want her to have eyesight of the thing that she's attacking? Because right now she's kind of in the cubby hole.
Ooh. Have Akila roll me a perception check. I'll let the dice decide.
Terrible bad. Let me check hers. She has a perception. She doesn't have it trained, but she's got 15.
Okay, so roll with the +2. I'll say on a 13 or above, you get to add the D6.
Beautiful. Okay, so rolling a bunch right here. Let's see here. Excellent. You love to see that. I am going to use my piercer to re-roll my piercing. Not bad. Okay, so we have 3 lightning. 13 piercing, and then the 6 from the Johnny boy. And I imagine that, like, as Jove rears back to throw the javelin, that the Johnny that was on him kind of goes, and like he's riding the tip of the spear, kind of like how you see like the cartoons of like people riding bombs, right? You know, like with the cowboy hat. So that's what he does as he's thrown through the air, given the finger guns the whole way, and it explodes with the array of all that little extra damage. So yeah, that's Jove. He'll step back.
Jove, how do you want to
Yes.
do this?
Oh my gourd. Okay, so you said this is an octopus.
Indeed.
They got little weird beak mouths, right?
They do indeed.
So I imagine that like if this is we're starting to go under, it's getting wrapped up. Maybe we see the little beaky thing. So that's really what he is going to be trying to go through. And I like the idea that the mouth's not even open. He just rears back and just with pure brute force sees his opening, knowing that most natural creatures have some sort of weakness, and chucks it as hard as he can, and that little Johnny helps with that explosion to break that beak, and that whole javelin just goes straight down the gullet and runs that thing straight through.
As it does, I need Jove, Rory, Jasper, and Fergus to all make me dexterity saving throws.
It's a 21 for Jasper.
21 for what, Jasper? Gotcha.
23.
23.
23 as well.
Everyone but Fergus passes. As it dies, there's this black ink that shoots out from its body. You guys are able to get a hand up and cover your eyes as it shoots forward this black ink. Fergus, however, with his hands firmly around the tome, gets it straight in his eyes. He is currently blinded. But you guys are A-okay. As this octopus's body begins to fall off the ship with a large splash, as the ship rights up, you can still feel it is actively sinking. The octopus knight lets out this terrible guttural scream. You can see that like his mask itself is starting to like show signs of bleeding, as if he shared that pain. And from his broken, dislocated jaw, you hear, "All Hydra, damn you! Shalabasa spite you! We will drown you and your city!" As he recoils from the pain, part of his body still octopus-like, but the octopus itself finally lets go, and you can see an actual part of his skin rip off as the octopus is no longer tethered to him. However, Jove, you still have some movement speed, I believe.
Yeah, he's gonna make his way. Can't make the full way, but he's gonna start going over to Fergus to render aid when he can.
Absolutely, you head over there. Rornak.
Okay. Am I still next to this formerly octopus knight? Is he still like actually
Yes. He is still up. You can see that part of his mask has torn. You can see his dislocated jaw, broken barnacled teeth. It's like his flesh is more octopus tentacle than human at this point, as if he has been bonded to this octopus for quite some time. Huge, like, suction cup tentacle-esque, like, wounds wrap across his body as part of his armor is stripped away by this. He still holds the trident with this large Stukov octopus-esque arm on one side. However, you can see that he is heavily bleeding from this decoupling of him and his octopus.
Gotcha. Rornak will take an attack and almost just kind of go for a mercy kill on that one.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make that attack.
Does the 16 hit?
The 16 does hit.
Beautiful. That's for 6 bludgeoning.
6 bludgeoning, absolutely. You make a strike. However, his flesh begins to feel more rubbery now. You make the strike, and you know that you've landed strikes on him. He used to feel solid, but now it's like he's less human than he was at the start. Your effects, it feels almost as if you're doing less damage now.
Interesting. Alright. Rornak will once again. I'll burn another key point to use patient defense, and Rornak will call out, "Maybe we should find a boat or something safe to get out of here. I'll keep this guy occupied."
All right, past Rornak's turn is Freddy.
That's me. Okay. I am going to go up to, just in case some bullshit happens. Which one of you is looking worse?
I'm not bloodied yet.
I'm at
Jove just has a scrape.
I'm at like half health right now.
Yeah, we'll go to you. And do a cure wounds.
Thank you.
For max, you get 11 heal.
Beautiful.
That is significant.
That is significant.
And then I'm just kind of gonna put myself in between my allies as best I can. Just try and not have a blind side.
Wonderful. It is now the former Octopus Knight's turn. After receiving those hits, you see his body is becoming more rubbery. He looks more bloated. You see he has let out this terrible scream and has not stopped since finishing those few broken words with his jaw. You see he flips the trident around and aims it at himself, and sticking the backside into the wind of the ship, pierces through his own throat. And there's an eruption of water. Can I have everybody make me a strength saving throw?
Oh boy.
4.
Is it 15?
15,
17.
11, 17, and Fergus. Oh, the dwarf does well. Rolls 19. Anyone who rolled lower than a 15, you are shoved 30 feet backwards. I believe for Freddy, you go over the side of the ship. Luckily, you fall 10 feet and land on the deck of the ship. You take a d6 of falling damage and 2d6 of bludgeoning. However, you don't fall into the water. That's 2. You take 9 points of damage altogether as you are pushed off the ship. Who else failed that one?
I failed.
You also do the same thing. You take the same amount of damage as you both knocked off the side of the ship. The rest of you, this water gushes and falls over the part of the ship. You can feel the weight of it. The ship is actively sinking. Fergus is able to stay on the ship, the water actually whipping away the ink from his eyes, and he's able to see. We're going to move into a bit of a skill challenge at this point. As this water is now actively sinking the ship, you can see it's starting to snap some of the mass from the impact of it, as it's starting to fall over. I need my 2 individuals left on the ship, including Fergus. While Freddy and Rornak, you are picking yourselves up, being thrown off of this ship. You can see that the ship is sinking rapidly now. The weight of this water bursting through the top deck, down into it. It is starting to raise up at the front side. So, while you guys are picking yourselves up, we're going to switch this to Job, Jasper, and Fergus, as you now need to escape this ship in 2 rounds. Starting back at the top with Jasper.
She feels pretty confident she'll be able to move between the slippers and her ring of water walking, so she's a little bit more focused on helping Fergus and Jove. I think that's tough. Yeah, I think she'll try to grab Fergus by the collar and try to drag him with her. Like, if it's keeling upward, she's probably gonna try to gain some height while being on, like, the dock side of things.
Yeah, you may use your action to help Fergus. As you kind of grab him and you guys begin running down the ship up towards as it's kind of slanting. The ship is increasingly sinking. It's almost going Titanic style as it's beginning to rise up farther and farther. But you grab Fergus and with your slippers of spider climbing, begin running up this with Fergus holding on to him, trying to get him to the top. Looking at it, even with your perception, you know you're going to have to jump or fall into the water with this ship.
Yeah.
Moving down from that, Fergus is going to make the strength check to start running up there and keep up with you. He has advantage because you're helping. Yeah, that's a natural 18 with his Dwarven strength score. Yeah, you grab Fergus with the ink pulled from his eyes and your help. You guys are now running up this. It's starting to get at like that 25, 30 degree angle. It's vastly approaching 45. As you guys start running your way up the ship, he's only got 30 feet of movement speed. But with your help, he's able to keep moving. Jove, what are you doing in this moment? You and Aquila.
I think at this point he is going to thank Aquila and have her pocket dimensions at this point. And he is going to also run, give chase, but he wants to futz with his bag. He just got some ice climbing picks, so he wants to just have one out. He's not going to sink it into the ship at this point, but wants to have it in his hand, and will he'll take his action to dash if that's an opportunity.
Absolutely.
So yeah, he'll move the 50 feet.
You catch up with Jasper and Fergus as they're running. The ship is now reading like 30, 35 degrees in angle. However, before Aquila pops back into dimension, she looks at you and you see that she runs up, and you catch just a glimpse of it as she yanks a huge chunk of that octopus flesh off, quickly eats it. Yeah, not bad. And then pops back into her dimension.
Just desserts, I understand that. Yeah, so he'll kind of have that and be looking, gonna try and be thinking in his brain, the best way if he can jump out onto the dock. So that's just kind of what's going through his head as this is all happening.
Absolutely. Rornak and Freddy, since it is technically your guys' turn in initiative, you guys are picking yourselves up from being knocked prone and landing on the dock, and you see that the ship is careening downwards. The gangplanks from it have been knocked aside. You see your party members are running, trying to get to the top of this. They're just slightly above where the docks themselves sit. Is there anything you guys would like to do in this moment as they're trying to run to get to the jump off the ship before the masts cave in and the whole thing collapses down?
I don't think there's anything I can do.
Same thing for you, Rornak?
Yeah, I think Ronak's just obviously focused, just like trying to look for his companions, and like if any of them fall over or go into the water, he just kind of wants to keep an eye on where exactly they are. But that's all I can really think. Also, I'm so silly. I was so focused on the map, I forgot we were literally at dock this whole time. I thought we were like further out. My bad.
No, there are the docks.
That's why I was
to the
talking
south.
about the boats earlier. I'm so sorry.
So we're on the dock right now, and they're trying to get to the dock, right?
Yes, you guys have been knocked off the dock from the kind of explosion of water, it carrying you, moving much like a tidal wave spell.
Then there is something I can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to do a performance of creation and make a really sturdy rope ladder, and just kind of fling it overboard, or not overboard, over the side of the dock.
Absolutely. Make me just a dexterity check. So just roll and add your dexterity modifier to throwing a rope bridge onto a sinking ship.
12.
12? It gets on there, not very well, but you do have it. You're holding on to one side, the rope bridge is over there, and you're making eye contact. Fergus does indeed see you. Jove, you also do. Jasper, you're a little preoccupied right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jasper, so Freddy has this rope bridge, rope ladder thrown over towards it. It is like hanging over. Jasper, it's your move. You can feel this thing is about to hit that 45-degree angle. Anything after this, you're gonna be falling. Well, you won't fall straight back. You feel it, Chad, but you can see Jove and Fergus are starting to slip as their dwarven and halfling legs are trying to find purchase on this ever-increasing steepness of the ship.
She'll say, Fergus, if you want to climb that fucking ladder, you have to hand me that book now.
Go ahead and make a intimidation check.
Oh my god, fucking hate my die today. 8.
8, he does not, and instead, what do you do with the rest of your turn? He grips it tighter and shakes his head. It would all be for nothing if I let go of this book.
She just rolls her eyes and is going to continue dragging him up as high as she can until he can't climb anymore. And then she's gonna just like tell him to jump, and she's gonna try and like throw him towards the docks.
Absolutely. We'll count that as a help action. As Fergus makes a leap, he's going to make an acrobatics check to jump from the sinking ship onto the docks with his dwarven legs. His dexterity's not great, but with advantage, a natural fucking 20.
Oh my god.
Fucking A.
Thank you so much, Kyle. That is what was in my brain.
Yeah, right.
Yep, you do indeed help toss the dwarf as he goes careening over the side, landing, let's see, with a nat 20 and your help, yeah, he jumps and lands, and without leaving his arms from the tome, lands with a solid, a heavy dwarven thud, and lands on the docks. All right, Jove. Oh, and I guess you still have some movement left.
Yeah, like, now that she can just kind of climb just as high as she can go, she's gonna just wait for the perfect opportunity to, like, make a jump towards maybe one of the dock's posts and just use her slippers to climb that.
Yeah, you begin to prep for that, running the rest of the way, using, I assume, your bonus action to dash to get all the way up to the top of the ship.
Totally.
Yeah, you are there. You're like Jack Sparrow coming into docks as this is beginning to sink. Jove, as this hits that kind of 45-degree angle, what are you doing? You see the rope bridge that Freddy has tossed over to you. You know there's no way you're catching up to Jasper. You can hear the mast creaking. One begins to snap and fall backwards onto the ship.
Yeah, he's gonna move explosively towards that rope bridge and just kind of do his best to fling himself onto it. And if he's able to use it, he is, and if not, he's fine with just jumping onto the dock if need be.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll me. That's going to be an acrobatics check to jump off of this as you're running and trying to leap and catch this rope bridge.
Ooh, that's a halfling crit fail for a 4.
A 4?
Oh.
Jove, you miss this rope bridge and you fall in between the ship and the dock, straight into the water. What kind of armor are you wearing right now?
I am wearing scale mail.
You begin to sink. As the ship begins to go back around you, Freddy and Rornak, you see Jove go for this jump, but with his halfling legs and the angle of this ship, you hear, "Ah!" And Jove begins to sink beneath the water. What would you guys like to do? Fergus is now on the decks. You see that Jasper is at the top of the ship as it's like sinking lower and lower, preparing to jump onto one of the posts of the dock. You see Jove is beginning to sink underneath the water.
I'm going to turn to Rory. I'm just gonna say, hold this end of the rope ladder, and then I'm gonna pull the rope ladder up and kind of like tie it around my ankle, and I'm gonna jump in after Joe.
Absolutely. You dive in for Jove. No check needed. Following, Jove hasn't moved terribly far in. Go ahead and make me an athletics check to grab his hand. What's the roll?
3.
3.
Oh my
Um,
god.
You are not able to hold up Jove here as Jove continues to sink. Rornet, go ahead and make me a strength saving throw.
Will do. That's a 15.
15. You're able to hold on to the rope bridge with Freddy's weight on it, kind of anchoring yourself there. Back to the top. Jasper, you're at the top of the ship. It is now breaking down and sinking, going lower and lower into the water below.
Do I have any clue how my slip or how my ring functions underwater?
You've never been underwater with it.
That's a big fucking risk. Fuck. I mean, she doesn't really know that Freddy failed to grab onto him. She saw Freddy dive in after. So.
Yeah, you're still on a vastly deteriorating and sinking ship. Like, the
Right,
masts are about to
so-
fall and crush this in.
Her gut instinct is telling her that Freddy's got it, so she's gonna just jump to the docks.
Make me an acrobatics check.
Okie doke. 11.
You land onto the deck of the ship. However, you take 5 points of falling damage. As it's you just jump and you're like, I gotta make this. And you make this, but it's not a graceful landing. You're dropping about 25, almost 30 feet in the air.
Grace was probably the last thing on her mind. So
Yes,
yeah.
as you land, you can feel the shockwave through your body, like immediately. It's like when you land bare on your feet and you feel that shockwave go through your whole body. You're like, ooh, no. It's like that, but actually, you can feel things might have slightly broken on that land. Jove. Well, actually, yeah, Jasper, you first.
No, yeah. I'm just gonna keep an eye on Fergus, make sure he doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, Jove, I need you to make me, as you're trying to reach out and grab Freddy, as you are sinking lower and lower. First, make me a Constitution saving throw.
14.
14. You're able to hold your breath. You have a number of rounds equal to your Constitution modifier plus 1 before you start drowning.
Cool, I got 4 rounds.
You've got 4 rounds, absolutely. Now make me a strength saving check to try to reach out and grab Freddy. He slips past you. You know you're sinking farther. You need to grab his hand.
Just strength or athletics?
Strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. That, is a 23.
A 23. You begin to slip. Freddy, you aren't able to hold onto Job as his weight slips back, but with a surge, using your hands moving forward, you leap up and grab onto Freddy. Freddy, you can feel Job is gripping so hard, you can feel the bones in your hand starting to creak. But he does have a grip of you right now. Jove, you are no longer sinking.
Yay.
However, back to Freddy. Freddy, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Come on. I hate these digital dice because it'll be like on a really high number and then it'll just roll over one more onto a really low one. So that's a 7. It was going to be an 18, but...
Freddy, you are, with Job grasping you, you are not able to keep holding on to your breath. You're not drowning currently. However, it is only your Constitution modifier that you have rounds left. No plus 1. So you've got 2 rounds, I believe, because you got a 14.
What?
Do you have a 14 in Constitution?
Oh, yeah.
You have 2 rounds before you start drowning.
Okay.
Absolutely. This ends the first round for both you and Jove. Jove, you've got 3 left. Freddy, if you don't get pulled out of this water this next turn, you will actively start drowning. You immediately go to 0 hit points and are unconscious. Well, not hit points. You immediately go unconscious and start making death saving throws. Back to the top of Jasper. Rornak, actually, would you make me a strength saving throw?
Of course. That is a 22.
A 22, you feel increased weights, and you feel confident that Freddy has grabbed Jove, as you are now, like, you get that low horse stance, earthbender style, spread out your legs, get your thighs set in, and just start holding that horse stance. You're not moving anywhere. You are not going to let these guys fall. All right. Jasper.
I think she's gonna move over to Rory and try to help him pull them up.
Absolutely. You can use the help action to assist Rory in being able to pull them up. We'll switch down over. Fergus is checking the tone, making sure, taking like a collection of his effects on the docks. He hasn't gone anywhere. We'll move over to you, Jove. You've got Freddy firmly grasped in the hands. What would you like to do?
He is going to... He's going to just kind of try and scale up him as much as possible with the goal of trying to get a hand on the rope more than anything else, so he doesn't have to worry about, our grips slipping or anything like that. So that he's going to try and kind of crawl up Freddy as much as he can.
Give me an athletics check.
That's a 17.
With 17, yeah, you begin climbing up Freddy, and you get about, you're halfling and reduced speed underwater, you're about able to get about 5-10 feet up. And you have stopped grasping Freddy. You are now firmly grasping onto the rope bridge. Freddy and Rornak. How about we have Rornak go ahead and make me a strength saving throw. Actually, this would be an athletics with advantage because Jasper's helping you to pull your party members up. As you can feel someone is like climbing up the rope bridge.
Can do. I rolled 15 twice.
15 twice. Absolutely. 15, you begin. Boom, 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 boom. Jasper and Rornak, you guys both together. Jasper holding on to Rornak holding on to the rope as you both take a step back, and then another, and then another. And Freddy, you feel right as your breath is about to, you let out a and the water begins to fill your lungs as your head breaks the surface as you're still wrapped around an ankle as you and Jove are pulled back up onto the decks. Spitting up water, Jove, you letting out a as your head breaks the surface and your party pulls you onto the decks. You guys watch as the rest of the Indigo Wings caves in on itself and begins to sink into the Bay of Mulmaster. We are out of initiative.
Jove is just flat on his back at this point, just looking up at the stars and catching his breath. So he's kind of out of it for a second.
You expect someone to run over, or perhaps someone to investigate, but you see that no one is coming to investigate. And was coming to check in after this entire ship in the Bay of Boltsmelter is now sunken. You can see only the last kind of ripples in the water as kind of the tip of the ship sinks down below the deck. You are left alone on the docks.
I think perhaps we should take Fergus to the ox pit so we can all have a chat about what just happened.
Oh, yeah. I'd say that's probably the best thing to do right now. There isn't anybody else, right? It's just us.
Make a perception check, Ronak.
passive 12.
Passive 12. While there are still a number of ships and the likes around, it doesn't appear as anybody is coming to assist. You are, at the moment, alone.
Jove's gonna get up, and if Freddy hasn't already kind of caught his breath and got himself up, he would offer him a hand to help him do so.
Freddy's laying face down on the dock, just like not moving, just because he doesn't feel like it. He's definitely alive and definitely conscious, but not moving.
You can see like a dog who's just like splayed out on the floor, belly down, face down. You see Freddy's chest moving back and forward, but he's just laying there, arms at his side, just. You can hear just like heavy, almost sigh-like breathing coming from him, but he has not turned over.
I think you dislocated my ankle.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this was your plan, by the way.
I would call it a plan, but it was my idea.
It was good, quick thinking. And, man.
Not the first time coming from you, Freddy. Either quick thinking or saving my ass. So appreciate that, friend.
Yeah, I guess I need to practice holding my breath if I'm gonna be living in a town on the docks.
It's a useful skill.
We could also make a rule not to go on water. I wouldn't say no to that anymore.
Well, I think y'all had the right idea. Does it come off as weird to any of y'all that I don't know, ship just sunk and it feels like a ghost town here? Maybe we should make ourselves scarce.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Whoever gave out the order to not help us probably doesn't want us to have Fergus or that book in our reach, so.
Yeah, you would think a guard or something somewhere would have seen it.
From the City Watch? Help with the sea monster? No. No.
Freddy's gonna spring to his feet. Alright, if we're going, we're going. We need to get out of here if we're gonna get out of here.
With a speed that is surprising.
He's gonna, like, pluck one string just, like, reluctantly, like, I have to do this to do my magic. He's just gonna, like, pluck the string, and just, like, one little chord of music is gonna come out, and just, like, pierce through Fergus and turn him invisible.
Jasper,
Oh,
will
hey.
quickly
Oh,
go
hey.
grab him, make sure he doesn't, like, run away with this newfound invisibility.
Well, hey, that's a real
Does he still
nifty
have the
trick
rope
right
on his
there.
ankle?
Freddy, yes. Freddy does still have the rope bridge tied around his ankle.
Yeah.
You grasp
accessory.
Fergus, Jasper. And, oh, hey, that's a real neat trick right there.
Yeah, he's a very talented boy. Who still has a rope on his ankle. Let's go.
You guys begin making your way through past the docks of Molemaster. Everybody roll me a perception check.
16!
16.
Catchphrase.
Catchphrase.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. 19. Yeah, you guys look around as you're kind of exiting the Bay of Molemaster, and you do see what appears to be a bit of City Watch, who do see you and then converse with each other for just a moment before turning around and leaving the docks.
See, that's what I meant when I said I thought there'd be guards nearby. Not that they'd help, but I have a feeling they have questions for us at some point.
You continue moving through the streets of Molemaster, heading ever closer to the Ox Pit Tavern. Jasper trying to keep a hand on Fergus as you move through. Get this music going in the background. There we go. As you head over to the Ox Pit Tavern, it is like late afternoon, just about to be evening, as you enter into the Ox Pit Tavern. There's not a large crowd at kind of this hour of night, as some people are still finishing a day's work. You head over towards kind of your usual spots, and Fergus goes, "Oh wow, look what he done with the place. That's not bad there, Krumeg, not bad." However, Jasper, you feel that his arms have not left that tome since this whole time. There wasn't any swaying of that one. He is firmly placed it against his chest.
Hey Rory, do you know if there's like a, I don't know, like back room, like a VIP room or some shit in this place that we could get a little bit more privacy?
VIP room, I guess unless you mean downstairs. It's not really VIP, but I'm sure we could be on our own if that's what you wanted.
That seems for the best. Why don't you let Krumeg know that we're here?
Ronak scanning the room, you do see Fergus, who currently has your back towards you. He's currently pouring an insane amount of drinks. He's got like 4 mugs in each hand.
Do I see Krumeg?
Yes,
right now?
sorry, Krumeg. I meant Krumeg, not Fergus. Sorry, 2 Dwarveness individuals. Messing me up. Krumeg, Fergus. I meant Krumeg. The owner of the Ox Pit Tavern.
Yeah, he'll head over and wave him down. Krumeg, bit of a change of plans here today with my group and I. Things went a little south on the job. We need to use the cellar for just a second, if that's okay with you.
Is Fergus all right? What happened?
He's okay. Maybe a little rattled, but he's fine. We're all okay.
Yeah. Hold on. And he runs over and hands off the mugs to one of the servants. All right, hey, take care of it. I'm gonna go into the back for a minute. No bothers. Nobody come into the cellars. You guys, come on. And he waves to kind of the rest of you guys out behind the bar. And you go back down into that cellars, the same cellars that you went to in your first adventure at the Oxpit Tavern. You can see that there is some loose boarding up of the large hole that Yavendel appeared from and dropped into, and is mostly the same as you all entered into the cellars. Krumeg kind of shuts the door behind you, gets a lamp lit underneath there to illuminate it, and you guys currently have the cellar of the Oxpit Tavern to yourself. With Krumeg, of course. So, what's going on here, guys? You usually don't come back this rattled or ask for such privacy.
Freddy, go ahead and drop the spell.
What? Oh,
Drop the
yeah.
spell.
Totally forgot.
She shakes her head.
As Freddy, you drop the spell, Fergus comes into view, and oh, hey there, Krumeg. Fergus! And he goes over and he embraces the dwarf, and Fergus even does let one hand, doesn't remove the other one from holding on to the large tome, but brings over and they give each other a hug. It's good to see you again, buddy. It's good to see you too. I was worried when they came in here, but well, even if it went south, looks like you're okay. Hate to lose a friend. Yeah, it's good to see you, Krumeg. It's been far too long. As they kind of, have that moment, Krumeg turns back around. Alright, so what in the hell is going on here?
Well, this friend of yours made enemies of the cult of the crushing wave, and whatever it is, is almost certainly has to do with that book he's clutching harder than a woman's pearls.
Well, Fergus, what the hell's going on here? These are good folks over here. You can trust them. Yeah. Well, this is what I've really been holding on to. Got a larger job for this book. I've been trying to find the meeting place to get it all squirreled away. Took me a really long time to get this done, you know. I didn't know that the whatever this crushing wave business is. To be honest, they weren't the people I thought that would come looking for this.
Yeah, they're nothing special. They're just trying to summon a godlike creature to destroy all of Mulmaster. That's about it, though. Anyone else thought about it?
I think Mulemaster's the appetizer. I think I said on the whole world, but that's just semantics. Speaking of semantics, there, Fergus, how did you? You said you knew that guy meant to do you no harm. How many people are you expecting to be out here doing you harm?
Well, you know, when you move fine products like me, you're pretty much assuming that anybody is here to take your shit. Especially if you're holding on to something real valuable. Joe, make an insight check.
Insight is 16.
16? That is partially the truth. You're not unused to merchants being leery of others, especially high-value merchants. And it answered the question why he's leery. It didn't answer the question of how he knew.
Yeah, Fergus, I'm hoping that, I know we were hired to do a job, and that was to keep you safe and all that, so it's not like we're outside of our scope of work here, but I've done my fair share of protecting merchants and their fine goods, and, my dad's got an eye for troublemakers, but never have I seen somebody ask somebody what they ate for breakfast and be able to weasel out that they're going to do them harm, so, maybe want to take that once again with a little more honesty behind it for me, friend?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check, Jove.
That's a 3.
I'm sure you got plenty of business there, Featherfoot, but also maybe not be one to talk, considering that you're hosting a little dragon inside your body, and you had the whole time. Who else has been keeping secrets? As he kind of looks to each one of you with just a knowing eye that sets all of your kind of teeth on edge.
I mean, I figured he knew I was a cloak, but that's it.
Oh, I got a real good read on all of you. Isn't that right, Laps? And he looks to you, Freddy, and over to you, Jasper.
You're gonna be really careful about what you say.
I think that you and I both need to be careful about where we spend our times, wouldn't you say?
She visibly bristles.
Listen.
You can brush your hair with her hair.
Yeah, indeed. Go right in. Listen, what I got here is an incredibly powerful and important artifact. Been feeling a pull towards where I need to go. And if memory serves right, there's about 375 gold pieces in your pockets. And our job not done here. So, how about we call us even Stevens, and we get this job done, and then we can go our separate ways, and everybody can keep their masks on. And the way he just says that just cuts through. Jasper, you feel that tightening even more.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, man.
You see Crewback kind of is like, is there something I missed here? It's kind
Nothing you need to concern yourself with.
He likes her mask.
of. Well, that's true, but so does Rornak.
Well, yeah, he said you can keep your masks on, plural.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, sorry. It's a little rattled by this. I haven't seen you in years. You come on in, bit scared. So I'm just a dwarf. I might be a little bit out of my depths here.
It's all understood. And while we do all have our masks here, Fergus, might I say that what you're asking us to defend you from, I have sent an entire giant octopus and cultist after you. While you may believe you have dirt on us, I would say you need us quite a bit here. Without us, you're in trouble. And if you need us to truly be here, we need to know everything that's going on to handle what is coming up against us. So please, for your own safety and your own mercy that's hanging on a whim, it's time to open up.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check, Rornak.
With no charisma bonus, that's a flat 16.
You see Fergus kind of looks at you. All right, you're about right there, Rornak, and you're about as honest as they come, all things considered. What I have in my possession here is the Elemental Codex. Can I have everybody roll me a Arcana or a Religion check upon hearing that name?
18 religion.
18 Religion,
14 Arcana.
14 Arcana,
15 Arcana.
15 Arcana.
I got 4 religion.
Joe, you have no idea what the fuck that means. Jasper, Freddie, and Rory, you all know that the Elemental Codex was a sacred tomb ever since it was recovered from a lost temple by the dwarves of Earthfast. Then, Freddie, you and Rornak know that it contains rituals that could focus or disperse energies in the elementally infused area. It also acts as something of an elemental divining rod. And then Rornak, you would know, since the monastery is not so far away from the Earthfast dwarves, that the Elemental Codex and stories contained rituals that the dwarven clerics of Morden would bind elemental energies to mundane weapons and armors. And, if the stories are to be believed, could even bind stronger elementals into even stronger artifacts. I got someone who is in dire need of this right here, but unfortunately, it's not worth anything if you can't find a elemental node. Luckily, I've spent some time with this here Elemental Codex, and I can tell there's one right beneath the city. I've been using some of the boys and everything on the ship to find out where I could get underneath the city into probably the Underdark, find this, and hopefully meet whoever employed me. I'm not surprised that a big old cult of, Arco-Elemental God, whatever it is that you called it over there, would want their hands on such a thing. I just didn't think they were gonna sink my whole ship to do it.
Well, a node and mole master, that doesn't bode well.
Oh, just to be clear, it's not in Molemaster, it's beneath it. I don't know if it makes that better or worse, but sure is a whole heck of a lot harder finding it underneath the city you've never been to.
Well, sure explains why every Arc-Elemental cult has an interest in this place.
Yep, I
Yeah.
guess it's too bad we have no idea how to get to the Underdark from the city.
That might be some valuable information.
Yeah, if only we had it.
Alright, Freddy. So you're saying, let me ask you, where's the entrance into the Underdark?
I think you've asked enough fucking questions from us.
He ignores you completely and looks at you, Freddy.
I'm going to look at him and can I roll sleight of hand to hide a wink
Yes.
from Lapis?
This
Get a
would
14
be...
sleight of hand to hide my wink. I wink at him and say, I got no idea.
Make me a wisdom saving throw.
8.
You're a real bad liar there, Freddy. Why wouldn't you just tell me it's down in the sewers of Molemaster?
Well, you weren't supposed to say it out loud. I was... God,
I'm not much one for deception.
clearly.
And he makes this
That's
weird
what the
coy
wink was. I
smile.
winked. We had a wink moment.
So there's a entrance into the Underdark in the sewers of Molemaster, huh? And if I were to be guessing, yous all don't want this to fall into the hands of them cultists either, huh? So, I believe that there's still more job to do, so how about we all take a real quick breather here and start heading that way, don't you think?
Yeah?
Yeah, it sounds like you've got our hands tied.
No, my foot's tied.
That it is. And you all see that Freddy is indeed still tied to the rope bridge.
It's not removed it.
No, it has not been removed the whole time.
How'd you even get... Oh, it doesn't matter.
I walked here dragging a rope ladder.
You walked through the building with a rope ladder around your leg.
Well, I bundled it up and I was like holding on to it.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
okay,
ankle
of
weights, you know.
course.
It's like a bridal train.
Oh, that's a real
Except
nice
for
rope
Freddy-
bridge
it's
you
a Freddy
got
train.
there.
It's a Freddy ladder.
A lap train, if you will.
A ladder.
Yeah, and everyone, oh, that's a fine rope bridge right there. You in the mood to sell that?
I don't think you want it.
Oh. Shame. Never know when you're gonna need a rope bridge.
Yeah. Did you want to just like hold on to it and see what happens?
Oh yeah, sure. And on over.
Okay, and then just like an hour and a half in the future, it disappears.
An hour and a half in the future, Kruma goes, oh, what the hell?
Lorsh.
Brr. Just kind of shakes his head, but that's in the future. He'll be quite surprised at a later point in time. Kruma, you are now no longer have a rope bridge tied around your ankle.
Real change in eras.
You know, it's the DLC you can buy for free.
There was pre-rope bridge, Freddy. There was and momentous whatever, rope bridge Freddy, and now we're in post rope bridge Freddy.
Yeah.
Really jumped the rope bridge after that, you know.
They really jumped the rope bridge.
If you 100% the game, all collectibles, you get shit pants, Freddy.
But at that point, you've already 100% of the game, so like you never actually wear it.
You
Yeah.
just wander around for like 5 minutes, like, yep, he shit his
That's
pants.
cool. I got shit pants, Freddy.
Man, the Freddy standalone game sounds wild. As the rope bridge is taken off, Krumig says, well, I suppose, Fergus, once you done this, are you gonna come back, or are you gonna be out again? I haven't seen you in so long. Don't you worry about it, Krumig. I'll always be back around eventually, but I think it's about hightail after this for me to get out of here. But I wouldn't mind spending the next hour or so getting some one-on-one with you if you wouldn't mind. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We can talk about all the old times back in the mountains. Hey, you remember that first girlfriend you had? Yeah, I don't think we need to bring that one back up. the rest of you, thanks so much for. I know you're getting paid, and I know things are a little tight right now, but you saved a good friend of mine, so know that. Know that, you know, you always have a friend in Crewmeg, not just as your employer in your favorite tavern, but I really do appreciate you all. Drink some food on the house when you go back up there. Make sure you rest up before you head on out. Me and Fergus gonna have some bit of that dwarven whiskey and talk about some better times. And Crewmeg comes up and gives a hard hand on each one of your shoulders and tells you each individually, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." It goes over to you, Ronak. "Thank you so much. But I was really struggling before you came around. Appreciates that a lot from you, Ronak. Not just for the drink, but your help and honestly bringing a little bit of laughter back into this place. It's been hard."
Well, I appreciate you giving me a wanderer like myself some semblance of a house or a home out here, so I owe you.
Well, keep on coming back. Maybe do a vomit comment once in a while, just for old time's sake.
I'll try not to do that part, but I'll definitely come visit.
Yeah.
Give me too many drinks and maybe I'll still do it. Don't
Gives-
worry about it.
Gives kind of a hearty laugh and nods to you all, and begins heading back up the stairs with Fergus. Fergus turns back and looks at you, nods with a smile, heads back up with Crewmeg, and you guys are left with some time in the cellar with just the four of you.
You all wanna
Crewmate's,
hear-
fucking lucky I like him so much. Or I guess I should say that, Boltsmelter is.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Crewmeg was telling me when they were old bosom buddies back in the day that I guess dwarven humor's a little bit different than what we have, but so I guess our friend Crewmeg put some like horse piss or something in Fergus's girlfriend's hair, and yeah, you should ask him about it. I guess it's made it quite the experience for him. I was gonna bring it up, but I'm gonna let it simmer. When we least expecting it, I'm gonna hit him with the horse piss girlfriend jab, and I think it's gonna really pierce him.
Wow.
Respond to that.
I'm speechless.
+1.
Like, all of the angry wind has left her sails for pure confusion.
Wow.
Sounds like you had to be there type thing.
I wouldn't have wanted to, but yeah. Now, if we're going to be doing some more adventuring today, I just want to let y'all know that that first little bit that we did there was it's pretty exhausting. I tapped into my reserves pretty mightily. Luckily, if we're going beneath, I won't have to worry about Keela being all incognito, and she'll be at my side. But besides that, it's just going to be old Jove and the getting them with the pointy end. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, if we're gonna do more, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah, I could use the time to reflect real quick before we go off. Sounds like we're in agreement there.
I'm gonna take advantage of that free meal.
Yeah.
Jove will follow too, yeah.
You guys head back up. Just for my curiosity's sake, what do you both order, knowing that you've got another chunk of adventuring to do, trying to heal up from a fight during what will be a short rest.
Joe's feeling probably cold from the bay water, so wants to get like a bunch of bread and whatever kind of stew is hot, just to kind of start warming him up.
Absolutely. Got some like harder, like chunky bowls of like bread, and you get like a basically the medieval equivalent of like a bread bowl with soup in it.
Yes.
Just kind of mess. The stew itself isn't good. The bread itself isn't good, but together it makes for a pretty hearty meal. Real dwarven and kind of just real potatoes and like just ground. Who knows what kind of meat in it. Couple of vegetables, all just kind of soaked in by this like hard bread. Jasper, what do you order?
I don't really know. Do they have any like special dishes that they make here? Or is it kind of just normal and stuff?
The easy stuff is, like breads, meats, cheeses, like stew that Jove's getting, that they always got a kind of a stew going around, especially for how kind of cold and windy Mulemaster is. Does have a couple more dwarven specialties, like the equivalent of like a schnitzel, where it's all like pounded down real thin, fried up and everything.
Nah, she'll just do the stew.
Yeah, you just go Jove orders and ask for two. You guys get served, drinks included, if you so choose to partake in a drink. Staff almost kind of surprised when they go and they get from Krubeg. Really, on the house? Okay.
Yeah, Jasper really wants a drink, so she's gonna order a cherry fire.
You do.
Probably 2 cherry fires.
Probably 2 cherry fires. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Sure. That was a fucking 7.
Jasper, you will be drunk starting this next part of the adventure.
Great.
Yeah. Lovely.
That's what, honestly, she was kind of aiming for. She's so
The first one was
irritated.
for taste. The second one was, we got a lot of stuff to do, and I'm going to be hurt. So if we're going to do this, I might as well be drunk for it.
And also, like, the less she can think about the ramifications of him knowing who she is, the better. So she's just gonna restrict the brain cell usage for a little bit.
Joe, would you like a drink during your pick-me-up meal?
Yeah, he's just gonna he'll nurse a full sail. Nothing crazy.
Absolutely. Rornak and Freddy, you go take a nap. Find one of the booths and just claim it as your own. Rornak, what are you doing while Freddy's taking a nap?
Yeah, so, I mean, I just was gonna kind of take the time, basically, to just meditate. Rornak might actually even just take a Rornak drink with him as he goes into, like, one of his usual rooms, and he'll sip on that a little bit as he's going into his meditation. Just, since you have the opportunity, it's not always that we take a short rest actually here at the Ox Pit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you grab a Rornak with your party as they're feasting. You decide to go do some meditation, find your room, and head in there, meditate, enjoy some Rornak, do a little bit of deep breathing with some deep drinks as well.
Whenever I'm not sleeping, I'm playing Song of Rest.
Absolutely. Why don't you guys go ahead and roll me some hit dice here and add Freddy's Song of Rest. I believe that's an extra d6.
Let me.
Mind if I go ahead and roll my second wind, since I'm gonna get it back?
Yeah, I don't mind. That's fine.
Thank you.
Dom, I only used 1, and I'm back at max.
Okay, yeah, let me get my notes out.
Yeah, Song of Rest. If you if you regain hit points by spending 1 or more hit dice, you get an extra 1d6, so it only works once. You get 1 extra d6.
Extra d6 nonetheless. Alright, I've got 1 hit die marked down for Jove. You're back at max. The food and drink hitting you just right.
Jasper used one of her rogue hit dice.
Oh! I rolled 2 hit dice and added all my bonuses and added a d6, and it was exactly how much I was missing.
Nice.
Alright, so 2 dice from you. Gotcha.
I also rolled 2 monk dice, and with that and the bard, or the Song of Rest, I'm back at max. I also got my key points all back too.
Yep, everybody's short rest abilities recharge. Everybody's back at full hit points. You have a little bit of time if anybody had anything they wanted to RP out before Crew Meg and Fergus finish up their conversation.
I think Joe would want to talk to Jasper while they're kind of eating real quick, and just say, "Now, Jasper, I usually see the good in everybody, especially dwarves. I'm usually pretty fast friends with dwarves, but man, that Fergus guy,
Right.
he knows a little bit too much, which I think is frightening. But I feel like we are in a powerful position here. He would quite literally be dead if it weren't for us. So we can always pull that out. But
And then he wants us to escort him through the sewers by himself? Like, how, after what he said to me, how does he expect me not to fucking dig an axe into the back of his head? Like,
and frankly, it's kind of outside of our scope of work. I mean, we did say we'll be guards on the ship, and this isn't really that. So maybe we can squeeze him for a little extra cash on the back end. And not frankly, like I need it, but I want it. Just so he doesn't have it.
I was looking to get something out of him by the end of this, and if you want to leave it to just money, that's fine. I was seeing red a little bit down there, so my mind is elsewhere.
And he talked about a pull, feeling a pull towards something. And there's only been a couple of times that I've had that, and one was real bad. I don't know. I feel like these cultists just started off as normal people, and they get turned into something. I don't know. I hope that him holding on and clutching to that book, it looked like he would rather die than let it go. And, I don't know.
You think he's playing into someone's hands?
I think he's getting played. I think deep down he's probably just another guy trying to make his way through this world. But he says he hadn't met his employer. All that kind of stuff. Seems like he's trying to go a little under the table. Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if he ended up being a cultist himself, but he may end up playing patsy to one. We should just keep on guard once we're down there. And frankly, he does seem like the type that would sell us out, but hopefully that doesn't come to that.
So I mean, so much so he's not even offering extra payment for this. He thinks I'm gonna do it out of fear that he'll tell people about me. That pisses me off.
A little bit of that extortion going on, so yeah, I don't know. Well, I know you got a keen eye for that sort of thing, and I'll just want to let you know that my senses are tingling here too. So if you catch anything that I don't, and vice versa, I'll make sure to communicate it to you in the best way possible.
Likewise. If I don't know. I think I might try to find an opportunity to rip that book from his grasp before we get where we're going.
Well, that'll be a fight on sight, for sure. So, I know you're not asking me for advice, but my advice would be to use that at the very last second if we think that we're getting played or something like that. But I've got a net. We got our manacles. If need be, we can restrain the fella and make sure that nothing goes off. But I think taking that book will, not that I think he can really put up a fight against all four of us, but I,
That's
I,
that's the weird part about this. I don't get how he doesn't. Why does he trust us? And we have every reason to not like or trust him.
seems to be able to peer into the mind's eye or something. Like I said, that's not a natural thing, especially with what he revealed. He knows things. I sure didn't tell him. I don't think you've told probably anybody else besides us four. So there might be more to him than meets the eye, or I don't know. I did watch a brain explode out of the back of somebody's head not a week ago. So I'm feeling a little cagey.
You don't think him feeling a pull from deep below Mole Master, like, could that be like mind flayers or something?
I don't know, but if there is a no down there, I mean Yavendell didn't say diddly squat about that, so whether or not I think we do need to go down there just to check shit out and kind of see where the cards lay, because even if there's no cultists at the time, if we know a meeting spot that they'd like to be and uh, cause some trouble, that's valuable information for us in the future if needed.
Yeah. I suppose even if he's a dirtbag, we having him lead us there is something.
I guess the only thing to do is find out.
Well, I'm just glad that I still got you fighting alongside me. I can feel a little reassured.
Here's to that. He'll quaff back the rest of that full sail ale, let out a big old belch.
Also, don't tell the others, but I just drank too much.
She says as she like slams back what is actually her third cherry fire.
I've got some hard bread in my bag while we're going. If you need a little something to level you off, so.
That would be amazing. Thank you.
Funny.
So as you finish that that conversation, Jasper, when you are drunk, I like how Matt Mercer rules being drunk. You have advantage on being frightened or charmed right now. And I believe you have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that's what I might look into it. It might change that as we move forward, but I think I like how he rolls it for the most part. And since there's not an official way to be drunk except to like just be poisoned, which sounds dumb because strict poisons shouldn't be the same as being drunk. That's how I'm gonna roll that.
Yeah.
So,
No complaints.
excellent. Fergus and Crewmeg come out from kind of from Crewmeg's kind of personal like office at the Oxpit Tavern, and they both have a smile on their face, and you see that Fergus still has the codex on him, and Crewmeg's well, those were the days. I mean, I can't believe that we used to get away with all that. With these little short little legs, how fast we used to run. Oh yeah, you know, we were a lot faster and a whole lot lighter back in those days. I mean, 100 years is quite some time, you know. Yeah, well, we're getting old there. Well, thank you all for giving me the time to catch up before he's back off again. Do you want me to wrap up any sort of provisions or anything for you on your trip out of there? Be no problem at all. As he kind of looks to you guys all gathered up again.
Well, if you could just hold my room for me, I'd appreciate that. Jove, we'll start futzing with some gold to put down.
No. Don't you worry about it. You come on back successful, room's yours, no problem.
Well, thank you kindly for it.
Don't fuck up or I'll charge you double.
Alright.
But seriously, don't fuck up or I will charge you double.
It's true, I've had to pay triple sometimes.
Thank you, Rornak. Honesty suits you.
It's okay. I dropped 5 drinks that night.
But yes, yeah, your room is held for you, Jove. Fergus then addressed you. Well, all right, here, who wants to lead the way down into the sewers?
Jasper looks at Freddy. Poopy pants?
I'm leading the way.
Well, you got that flashy little badge of yours that seems to get us in places that we aren't always able to. So
You were also so kind to let him know that we knew where we were going in the first place. So yeah, I think you're gonna go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Freddy, you begin leading the party out, heading towards that sewer entrance from your first adventure down there. See Fergus and Crewmag get one kind of last hand on each other as you guys head on out into the streets of Mulmaster. At this point, it has become evening. There's the familiar hustle and bustle of the city. You know, the ending of the forges. The big kind of smoke clouds dissipating just at least for a little bit. Though the clouds are heavy and thick, it's hard to see any of the stars and even harder to see any sort of moonlight peering through. You careen, duck, and move your way through the streets of Mulmaster. Can everybody roll me a perception check?
Catchphrase.
Passive 11.
17.
20.
20. Jove, you're the first one to catch it, the sounds of a lot of people moving at once. So you steer the party kind of off the path for a second, and you watch a procession of individuals dressed all in black. Heavy some dressed in heavy armors, brandishing weapons, others in black cloaks, all of them bearing the symbol of the Black Hand. As a procession of Bay Knights goes to the streets, kind of knocking over anything and anyone in their way. This kind of black wave heading towards the Tower of the Black Hand. You see they are illuminated by these dark burning torches. They look almost purple with how deeply red they burn. This kind of sinister color as they just push their way through the streets. You see them strike out at individuals who don't move out of the way, step over one another. You see one person falls in the way and is just crushed by this procession as they just move their way through the city. For Freddy and Lapis, you are very aware of this. It is approaching the time of the Black Lord, one of their large religious holidays, where a lot of the congregation starts to begin to meet, known as the Black Marches through the city.
You said the time of the Black Lord?
Yes. It is in kind of the ending part of winter, like in the last kind of dark days, um, Bayanites will like march through the streets and just dominate and crush anything in their way as a way of um, celebrating the Lord of Tyranny. For you guys, it's nothing new. For Rory and Jove, it is a rather barbaric and just menacing march through to see the actual national religion. You know, Bane is the patron god of Mulmaster, and to see this just crush through the city is quite the sight to behold. A few moments go past after this procession leads. We begin once again heading back through the city as the Black March leads towards the Tower of the Black Lord. You eventually make it to that familiar alleyway leading towards the sewer gates. There you see like the sewer door that you have entered in is currently locked.
I got this. She'll pull out her thieves' tools.
Absolutely. Go for it, rogue.
Is that just a dex check with proficiency, or?
Do you have proficiency in these tools?
I believe I got it from my multi-class into rogue.
Then yes, roll with your proficiency bonus.
Let me double check that I'm not just making that up. I do have proficiency. Okay.
Absolutely. Roll with proficiency.
Oh my god, I want to scream. That's 7.
A 7. Not doesn't seem to be turning over.
Is it like a padlock type deal, or
Like a thick, heavy padlock on it.
Jove is gonna say, "Y'all alright if we break it?"
Yeah, honestly, I don't give a
Against the
shit.
law.
I'll
You
buy
are
him
the
a
law.
new one.
I'm part of the law. I'm not the law.
That's good enough for me. Break it.
Jove is gonna get into his climbing stuff, and he's gonna pull out a pennon, and he's going to loop it if it's like a classic
Yeah, classic
padlock.
pog style.
So he's going to kind of like loop that, or put that stake through the loop of it, so it's going through, and then he'll have like his hammer that he uses to, typically set that into stone, and start striking that pennon and try and just jostle that shit apart.
Go ahead. Either make me an athletics check on this one.
Yes, sir.
So less of an attack, more of using your strength with your tools.
Yeah. It's about striking at the right, like, pressure. That's not bad. That's a 15.
A 15? Yeah, you line up. You make one swing and just gets it kind of jammed in there. You pull back, jiggle it just a bit, and there's a solid strike. And pink, the lock flies open as it opens and it hits the ground. The door is unlocked. Or gate, I should say.
Jasper, looking at her hands, is like, oh shit. I don't have gloves. I'm gonna get shit all over my hands. Ugh.
You get shit over just about anything.
And she remembers to wiggle off her ring of water walking, and she hands it to Jove.
Oh, well, thank you for this. Yeah, don't want to get drowned in the poopy water. Not fun.
Yeah, it didn't look fun the first time.
The city of Mulmaster eats a lot of fiber, which is good for them.
I'm gonna go up to Lapis and just be like, You don't need to worry, man. And just kind of like get any dirt that's gotten on her hands off already. And I just give her a wink.
You feel so clean, Jasper.
So fresh, so clean. So
Thanks,
2021
Zan.
teen.
Speaking of, I wonder if we'll ever run into that Zan fellow again.
Certainly not.
Yeah, if he had anything to say about it, he's long away from Boltsmelter.
All right, we got it
wouldn't be bad to
open.
see a kindly face.
The gate is opened into the sewers. Who's leading this charge?
Jasper again looks at Freddy.
Yeah, sure. I'll just go in the front, so that way if anything comes at me, I'll just fucking die.
Fine.
I walk in. No, I walk in. No, I did it.
No, fuck. Damn.
No, I'm walking in first.
Crybaby, no crybaby, I got it.
The Lapises are fighting each other as you guys are following the two of them, both leading together. Lapis trying to go forward, and then Freddy going forward, like at the same speed. And as she like slows down, he just overtakes her again as you guys are led into the sewers, hanging a right, following the path that Zan had followed with our adorable Flump.
Jasper's gonna be walking on the wall to avoid as much excrement as possible.
You do. You've been walking sideways. It's a really weird thing because in some points you have to kind of step up, and so it's almost like you and Freddy's tops of your noggins almost touch at times as you're keeping pace with one another, both leading the way. You travel for this for some time, following this sewer path that goes down deeper and deeper, sticking to the sides, avoiding, and you come to a juncture. Finally having to choose to left or go right. And as you reach there, you all feel this kind of almost like something exhales, originating from Fergus, and you all feel this kind of pull to the right.
Well, that's not creepy as hell.
Looks like this thing is starting to attune to that node.
Well, that's useful. But Fergus, keep your wits about you. Sometimes water comes rushing down, and can knock us rolling. So keep your feet planted.
Yeah, that's good advice. I'll keep to it. You guys begin to make a right and head down this sewer path. However, it takes kind of an upturn for a moment. It becomes less sewer, and then it begins to take a sharp decline down. The walls begin to become less cobblestone and old architecture to roughly carved rock, and then less carved and more naturally forming. The smell and the stink, the shit of the sewers of Boltsmelter is replaced with the kind of earthy wetness. A kind of full, like, exhaling of this, like, cool, warm air. And it's kind of the sewage of Boltsmelter begins to end. And you guys begin to enter deeper below Boltsmelter. You travel through these tunnels for an hour before it begins to open up in a cave. You see around there are ledges, 10, 15, 20 feet leading up the sides of it. Large columns appear. It seems to almost even be lightly crystalled with a dim light emanating from it. You look across the way. Everybody roll me perception.
19.
Nat 20 for a 21.
Woo.
21.
13.
21.
with all this incredibly high perceptions, you can see moving on the other side, coming from an entrance on the opposite side of this cavern, dim shapes moving through the darkness. And with that natural 20 and above 2021, you can see that they are not creatures, but humanoids. Heavily armed dwarves, all wearing this kind of silvery armor hanging from them. One holding what appears to be a crystal pointing in your guys' direction. Probably a good, looking at it, about 60 or so feet on the opposite side. What would you like to do?
Does Fergus seem to be doing anything?
He has been following, but he does not seem to have noticed these figures. The codex still firmly, clutched to his person.
Oh man. How many? Actually, I probably didn't have a perception good enough to see how many we were dealing with.
I would say, Jasper, you can see that there's movement there, but the rest of the party would have seen that there appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think since we're in a cavern, Jasper is gonna try to climb up higher and try to get a little stealthy, like bonus action hide if she can.
Roll me. Climbing up these. Roll me either athletics or acrobatics.
Okay. It's 13 for either of those.
13. You are able to throw yourself up onto one of these ledges on the cavern side. It's about... You run to the one on your left. It's about 5 feet up, but you're able to get up there and... Go ahead and roll me for stealth.
Okay. That's a 25.
A 25. You sink low, push yourself. This place is only dimly lit.
Oh wait, that's a dex check, so I have disadvantage on that bad boy. Assuming that's how my... am I still drunk, or has it been long enough that that's worn off?
You've been traveling for about an hour, so you're still in the effect, so I believe it's dexterity saving throws.
Oh, okay. So not a check. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, so you feel yourself sink into the shadows here. You're feeling rather confident. You have snuck over. The rest of you guys, with your passive perceptions, have no idea where Jasper runs off to. As you're all kind of viewing this and pointing it out, she kind of blends into the darkness of the cavern. You have a general idea of where she ran off to, but you cannot see her. Rory, Jove, Freddy, what are you doing as you guys see these figures on the opposite side of the cavern?
Job's gonna turn to Fergus and in hushed tone say, "Those guys look like your employer?"
Oh, most definitely not.
Well, if they're down here, probably up to no good.
They begin getting closer and closer to you. Now they're probably about 50 feet away.
Yeah, I guess, is there any... I'm sorry, I haven't held the picture in my head well. Are we... Is there a way that we could, like, do any sort of hiding? I know Jasper can with her boots and stuff, but...
Yeah, are they like coming like at us, or are they just happen to be coming towards us?
They appear to be following the one with the crystal, who is leading their way through this cavern towards you all.
But do they seem to be like looking at us, or are they just kind of like looking forward?
They are looking around. They haven't seen you guys yet. However, the crystal is focused directly at Fergus.
So I can, on the very strong chance that they're not the common speakers, I can try and talk to them with my staff. But chances are, once they see whatever they're looking for, they're probably not going to want to do much talking. So we might just want to go in spells ablazing.
Well, let's see if we can squeeze ourselves into a little outcropping or something, and at least get Fergus out of the way. Fergus, you good with what's your fighting skill level at? You need to be out of this or what?
Oh yeah, I think that moving out of this will be right okay with me. You see Fergus begins to jaunt on over to, there's... Actually, I have a map for you guys. Let's post this bad boy up. There we are. So, you guys have entered through the north half, the northern tunnel. Jasper, you see over where it says the 5 foot on the right side? You are currently hidden away right there. The rest of you are in between kind of these two large columns on the other side, almost like stalactites sticking high to the ceiling.
Do they?
Go for it.
I was gonna say, are they truly columns in that they touch the ground, or
They
are
seem
they
to rise from the bottom and connect all the way to the top. Almost kind of think like termite tubes reaching up through the earth.
Gotcha. Well, then, if they're approaching and we're in between, Jove's gonna grab Fergus and start pulling him towards this column and just say, if what's gonna go down, well, if this is gonna go down like I think it is, you just need to park yourself right here, okay?
I can't do there, Mr. Featherfoot.
And if my little friend comes over here and says hi, don't pet her, don't look her in the eye. You got me?
Oh, you're talking about Aquila, yeah.
He kind of grits his teeth at the fact that she knows his name, or that he knows her name. And I guess, I mean, I can just like take the hide action. Is that a thing?
Yeah, you guys can take the hide action. Absolutely.
Then
takes your guys' action, Jasper's bonus action.
I will take an action to try and hide behind this column with Fergus, I
Me
suppose.
too.
Hide action. Fergus also going to take the hide action. Rornak, what are you doing?
Okay, go for it.
15.
Ryan, oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know if I can possibly try and take the hide action behind that too. Warnak would also definitely draw just one of his darts, I should say, and keep that at the ready.
Yeah, Freddy and Rory, Rornak, you can take the left side column. There's enough room for both of you to hide by it, and then, well, actually, technically, Jove, you're a small creature, so there wouldn't be enough for everybody to get behind one column. You could have Jove, Freddy, and Fergus on one, and then Rornak, you could be on the other one, or some combination of that. But it's not big enough to hide all of you guys there. Even though the visual of you guys Scooby-Doo style is hilarious.
Maybe Rornak, you go on the far one since you have better movement?
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest. I'll take the far one then.
Absolutely. You guys run behind these columns. Go ahead and everybody give me a stealth check. And I rolled for Fergus. He rolled a 18.
15.
15.
Oh,
10.
11.
10 and 11. Okay. You guys run over and get behind these columns as quickly as you can. Jasper,
Oh.
there was something.
Yeah, I still have my action, so if I could hold an action with the throwing knife in her hands. Just-
Sure.
Yeah, if something becomes hostile to one of my friends.
You guys all get in position as these figures move closer. 30 feet away, 25, 20, 15. As they get closer, Jasper, you have the kind of the best view of this. You can see that it does appear to be 6 dwarven individuals. However, they're dressed in full dwarven gear, actual weapons at their side, full plate on some of them, other than wearing fine leathers, appearing to be scouts. One holding the crystal seems to have a staff on them, bearing a hammer symbol. Could you roll me religion?
Sure. That's it. 5.
5. You know it's dwarven, of course, but you're not sure. It looks like an older symbol, uncommon. And as they move forward, the one with the hammer symbol and the staff holds up this crystal and walks in between those two columns, and it immediately points to the right. You see a dwarven woman stands forward, fully armed, full beard, battle braids in the back, a strong jaw on her. It's hard to tell the color of her hair in this lighting, but she yells out, "By my father's beard, I'm called a Pure Fist, Forge Knight of the First Anvil and leader of the Hammers of Moradin. And we will have what is rightfully ours, Fergus, you thieving bastard." And that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Well. Well, that solves our Fergus problem. Just toss him out to them, and
Hey, here's your guy.
Yeah, we fucking hate this guy too.
no problems here.
Crew Meg, I'm really sorry we lost him. Just he was short. He's gone.
Yeah, I'll be interested to tell Crewmag what happened to his buddy Fergus. But on this plot twist note, let's say goodnight to chat.
Oh man. Good night, chat.
Night chat.
Good night, chat.
Good night, chat. Thank you so much for watching. What a glorious episode 30, with at least. Much love, peace in the Middle East. We'll see you next Sunday. Night night.